afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to the defining moment brought to you by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is me, your boy Larry, bringing it to you here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. It is Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. And guess what, y'all? Your boy Taryn Rodriguez and myself are right back at it for another action-packed, wall-to-wall 3 hours of non-stop sports action. Ring the bell, y'all! School's in session. Here we go, y'all. What's coming up today? We got so much to get into from this past weekend. My gosh, there is so much. I mean, we have the Pan Am Games that we're going to get into today. Congratulations to the U.S. women's softball team, by the way, claiming gold, along with all the other Americans claiming gold. Gotta show some love to the home country, right? And of course, shout out to everybody who earned gold in the Pan Am Games. So big ups to them. Also, we will be getting on into the series of the week last week. The Phillies, wow, they took more bumps. They took some more knots than Knott's Berry Farm, y'all. It was just bad. The Giants schooled them. Talk about a series there. Bandits and the Pride were so eager to play each other in the National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series that guess what? They had a series this weekend already to get us ready for it. But how ready is the Pride? Because the Bandits would sweep that series 2-0. Also, we'll be talking about some NWSL. Courage and Thorns went head-to-head. Is this a championship preview in the NWSL Cup Final? Well, if it is, the Portland Thorns got the better of the Courage. Also, WNBA, we had 2 big-time heavyweights going at it, the Aces and the Sun. Aces will get the better of the deal. And how good are those Sparks? Well, we'll talk about that coming up. Really excited about them. In the MLS, in the game of the week, my gosh, Atlanta United FC got this thing done. Talk about a victory over NYCFC, but a little closer, I thought, than what some people may have thought. It was a good game there. Also, plenty to talk about there. We'll be jumping on in to the winners list past week. We have some incredible Moto sports to talk about. Kevin Harvick gets this thing done, earning his 47th career victory and his second of the season as he punches his ticket to the NASCAR playoffs at Michigan. And oh yeah, if you are into epic battles in the final laps of motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, Andrea Dovizioso, Forza Ducati. That's right, talk about an epic pass at the end of this race, passing the man who has won everything this year in MotoGP, Mr. Marc Marquez. Final turn of the Austrian Grand Prix, and well, Andrea Dovizioso win one for Ducati. Ladies and gentlemen, all of that and plenty more. You are tuned in live to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Welcome, sports fans. Man, it has been a crazy week. Not just in sports, but in, life. My gosh, it's been nuts. So, my apologies for the crazy, all over the place, hectic schedule. I know you have to deal with me for this week. My apologies. But my gosh, it's like I haven't gotten a moment to myself. I mean, well, maybe here and there, but it has been something. So I just gotta tell you all, thank you all for tuning in, as always, y'all, to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. It has been a crazy week, like I said, but big ups to everybody who is just keeping it going here. I'm telling you, I got such an incredible team. We have such an incredible team here at IE Sports Radio. It is just incredible to think that everybody puts in all that they do. I mean, there is almost 30 of us around the nation in the USA, one in Canada, one in England. I mean, couldn't appreciate you all for what you do. Our PR department, they are everywhere. I mean, they're getting it out there. Big ups to Miss Meg, Singer. Big shout out to, of course, Miss Angela Winstead and Miss Stephanie. She will be joining me for this week, of course, as we get ready for 3 and Out College Edition. If you want college football, and I'm talking about college football, like everything college football, like not just the Division I single A that it seems everyone forgets about everybody else, but I'm talking about college freaking football, then this is your show, okay? Coming up every Sunday, starting on this Sunday, August 18th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. You want college football? We got college football. We are talking the CCCAA, the Junior College Association of California. We are talking the NJCAA for the rest of the country. We are talking the NAIA. We are talking NCAA Division III, NCAA Division II, NCAA Division NCAA Division I AA, or the FCS, and we are talking NCAA Division I Single A, and that is, of course, the FBS, the College Football Playoff, whatever you like to call it. That is that, more basically the bowl series for the College Bowl Series, FBS, and just in case you're wondering, the FCS is College Championship Series. So I'm just saying, I would love it one day for it to actually turn in, the Bowl Series would actually turn into like something like the Championship Series. We'd have some kind of a March Madness type bracket, but I don't know if that would ever work, but I'm just saying, I think that'd be awesome. Regardless, we talk all that good stuff there. So join myself, of course. Miss Stephanie will be joining me this coming up weekend. Also, Mr. Christian Espinoza and Mr. H-Town Blake Henley. It's going to be college football is back. We are ready to rock and roll in about 2 weeks' time, and we'll get ready for 3 and Out College Edition. Also, tomorrow, I had to push the show for tomorrow. I got my training to do. I'm a busy dude, y'all. I'm so busy. So, coming up tomorrow, earlier on in the day, I got to make a time for it to work. I thought I had a good time for it, but I forgot about the shows for tomorrow, so got to make an earlier time. But 3 and Out tomorrow shall continue. I know we missed last week, my apologies, but at least we got 8 divisions in 8 days out of the way 2 weeks ago. And 3 weeks ago, so we got AFC week and NFC week both done. Now it is time to jump on over to the preseason, and I'll be evaluating teams, looking at the rookies and everything, getting the youngsters out there, free agents and everybody's kind of getting, a look into them and seeing who's making teams, who's being cut, all that stuff there coming up. And then, of course, we have the kickoff show coming up, and that will be on Wednesday. Let me take a look here. That will be coming up on Wednesday, September 4th, and be ready, because that's when all the guys will be joining me, man. Colin Reynolds, Mr. Mike Pat, and Mr. John Felipe. So, we're really excited for that. That's going to be a great show. And then every Wednesday, y'all, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, 3 hours of football craziness, y'all. NFL all day long. We're going to have our 3 primetime face-offs for Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, and Monday Night Football. We're going to have the recap, of course. Join our Picks League this year. Pick along with us every week. We're giving our picks live on air. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. Everything's great when it comes to football, y'all. Yes, I love football, man. And by the way, just so I know some of them are listening right now, so I got to go ahead and give a big ups and big shout out, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my team that I play for in semi-pro in the PCFC. Ladies and gentlemen, huge shout out to my boys, man, and girls, because the ladies, man, they definitely. The ladies are part of the organization. Awesome people. So I just got to say, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out and big ups to my team. Very proud member of this team, and I can't say enough about this team, especially this week, since I got Defensive Player of the Week. Ladies and gentlemen, big ups and shout out to the Southern California Warriors. Talk about a victory. Very proud of my team, man. We went out there and played a great game. A big shout out to the Marina Valley Mercury as well. They came out, executed, did their thing, but we were the team that, just had a little more in any given day, right? So, big ups to both teams, but huge shout out to the Warriors. Such a such a proud day, and very, very excited for the upcoming game, of course, coming up this week versus the Riverside Disciples, or the Riverside City Disciples, I believe. Yeah, really excited for that. So, yes, that is a little semi-pro talk there in Southern California. And by the way, y'all, if any of you want to talk some semi-pro football, literally, in other states and all that, hey, let us know, man. Show us some love. Get us up on Twitter. And yeah, we can definitely do that, because, hey, you know what? We are literally your direct feed for all that is sports. So, with that said, once again, big shout out to the entire Southern California Warriors organization. And once again, I just want to say a gigantic thank you to the owner and my teammate as well, Mr. Okalani. Great guy, man. Seriously, great people. And I just want to say big ups to the entire defense, offense, everyone who did your thing out there. So, big shout out to Mr. Okalani, Tuafahima, and Letitia, his wife, Tuafahima. They're great people, and, you want to come ball for the Warriors, man. Show us, let us know. Let me know, and I'll let them know. But, big ups to the Warriors, and we had a great game. I had it was a fun game. I had 9 tackles and 4 sacks. Really proud of that, and really proud of a great week. And hey, as the great Babe Ruth once said, yesterday's home runs do not win today's game. So, I'm proud of that. Very excited that I was able to, that God blessed me with the ability to make all those tackles and sacks and all the good stuff. But hey, it's on to this week. That's why we're after this show. I'm right on to the gym, guys. Hey, I got to go out there, and got another game coming on. So great. 1 victory is wonderful. Now let's go get some more, So, and that's all there is to it, y'all, for the better of the team, for the good of the team. So anyways, that's, that was the introduction there, and we got plenty more sports to get into for today. But anyway, with that said, enough me yapping. Got a big shout out, of course, to my co-host, man. He is here with me. Been waiting to talk for the last 12 minutes while Larry B just goes on and on. So, thank you for letting me get all that out there, man. Anyway, with that said, welcoming my co-host for today. Huge shout out to my co-host, man, and diehard sports fan as well. Writer for The Pilot and proud member of the IA Sports Radio family. Proud member of the Bases Loaded team here on IA Sports Radio, talking National Pro Fast Pitch, NCAA softball, NCAA baseball, and MLB, and pretty much anything baseball. And of course, proud member of the Defining Moment team here. I got to change the banner really soon here and get his name on there. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my co-host, man, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. What's going on, Taryn?
Good afternoon, sports fans. Glad to be here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in. Oh, and Mom and Justin, my brother, I cleaned my room.
Hey, there you go, y'all. Mom and Justin, Taryn's brother, he cleaned his room. He is good to go, y'all. He's good. So, well, appreciate you being on today's show, man. And just, once again, all this crazy hecticness with my crazy schedule and everything. But thanks for being a part of it, man. Thanks a lot for in such short notice making time to be on today's show.
Yeah, no problem at all, Larry. Thank you for what you do and balancing out IE Sports Radio with your personal life. It's truly appreciated. I told most of my friends and my folks about you, and they were pretty flabbergasted to hear that you have such a busy lifestyle outside of IE Sports Radio. So, mad props to you, Larry B.
Hey, thanks, brother. I appreciate you, man. And hey, mad props to you as well, and the entire IE Sports Radio team. Ladies and gentlemen, Taryn here, that's hey, he's giving me some props, man. I appreciate that. But Taryn, also a student here, graduate of OCC, Orange Coast Community College, and right now he's an alum of OCC, and he's currently at Long Beach State University, so he's working on his career in journalism. Also, Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr., if you are into motorsports, our motorsports show, Mr. Daryl Kinsey Jr. is just jumping into his master's in journalism, so he works for WBGN Sports over there, or WBGN, the station over there in Maryland, and he's doing his thing, so he covers all motorsports, along with Miss Lolita Camello, Miss Caitlin Cena, and Mr. Michael Ward, doing big things over there. They are on Thursday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and great stuff there, as always, right before Bases Loaded here, by the way, with Mr. Brandon Buckingham, Mr. H-Town Blake, and, of course, Mr. Terran Rodriguez, and plenty of great people here. I'm telling you, our team is so diverse. This is so awesome. We got so much going on here, so big ups and shout out to everybody. If I were to sit here and talk about what everybody does, as in their school and their careers and everything they're doing, I mean, we can make an entire show of the IE Sports Radio family, because there's almost 30 of us now, and we are everywhere. We are all over California, from the north all the way to the Bay, to the Central Valley, to Southern California, to Arizona, to Nebraska, to Texas, to Louisiana, to Minnesota, to Michigan, to New Jersey. Okay, we are in Maryland, we are in North Carolina, we are in Canada, and we are in England. I mean, we are everywhere. I mean, and mind you, this whole thing got started through social media. So I'm just saying, God is great. And as I always say, y'all, I'm going to start the show off by saying, without God, nothing's possible, y'all. Big ups and shout out, of course, always to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, nothing is possible. And of course, big shout out and ups to all of you listeners out there, because without y'all, IE Sports Radio is absolutely nothing. We are nothing. So we appreciate you tuning in every week, showing us some love, and yeah, absolutely appreciated all of you listeners. So, my gosh, introduction cleared, and we are ready to rock and roll into today's show. So, Taryn, first things first, man, let's go ahead and we kind of been doing this last couple of weeks where we just kind of start things off with like this little like overview, I guess. But Taryn, I went ahead and named off a whole bunch of things in the introduction there, as my wild and crazy introductions always seem to do, or as I always do in my wild and crazy introductions, that is. But what's something from this weekend, man? Something this weekend that you just can't wait to jump into for this show today?
So actually, the Arena Bowl championship was just this past weekend. Arena Bowl 32 played last, I believe it was
Sunday.
Or Sunday, yeah, you're right, Sunday. I keep forgetting all these bowl games are on Sunday. And the Albany Empire defeated the Philadelphia Soul 45-27 in Arena Bowl 32. So big ups to the Albany Empire. The MVP of the whole Albany Bowl was Tommy Grady. Yes, there's a guy named Tom Grady. Tom Grady, you know, and for those of you that live in Orange County, and especially for those of you that live in Huntington Beach and that have been around the Huntington Beach football scene, that name may sound familiar because Tommy Grady attended Edison High School. So big ups to Edison High School, big ups to Tommy Grady, big shout out to Dave White, the former coach. He built an empire at Edison High School when it came to football. Jeff Gray's doing a great job taking over that program. He's entering his third year as the head coach. But Tommy Grady, man, woo, look at he went 16 for 25 when it came to passes. I believe that's 60% or so. More than 60%, actually. I think it might be 70%. He had 200 yards, and he had an astounding 5 touchdowns. So that's absolutely bonkers. The game actually started off with Philadelphia leading the way as Dan Raudabaugh threw a 34-yard touchdown pass to Darius Prince. And believe it or not, Philadelphia was getting the ball rolling as their defense was stopping Albany. But then like halfway through the quarter, Maurice Leggett managed to nab a 54-yard interception for a pick six. Maurice Leggett pick six Philadelphia and he returned it for a touchdown. So that was huge. That was really huge for Albany because they needed to get on the board, and you know, with having chewed almost over half the quarter, you know, that was huge. Philadelphia scored yet again thanks to Raudabaugh finding B.J. Bunn for a touchdown. And then Albany managed to get their first offensive touchdown of the game thanks to Tommy Grady finding Quentin Sims for an 11-yard touchdown. And then that was the end of the first quarter. First quarter was 14-14 between those two. Then next quarter, Albany takes the lead thanks to Tommy Grady with a 6-yard touchdown pass to Quentin Sims. That put Albany up 21-14, but Philadelphia came back again thanks to Dan Raudabaugh finding Darius Prince for a 4-yard touchdown, and suddenly it's 21-21 with 4:56 remaining. But then Albany manages to kick it into high gear. Tommy Grady found Quentin Sims again for a 25-yard touchdown, and that put Albany up 28-21 with 3:23 remaining. Albany got the ball back, and then Tommy Grady found Quentin Sims again. That Sims was definitely Tommy Grady's best and favorite target of the night for an 11-yard touchdown run, and then that gave Albany a 35-21 lead at halftime. And then third quarter, Tommy Grady does it again. He finds Michael Benson for an 8-yard touchdown. Albany was up 42-21 at the 10:06 mark of the third quarter. No one scored after that touchdown, but Philadelphia tried to make a little bit of a comeback as Dan Raudabaugh found Lonnie Outlaw for a 3-yard touchdown pass. The extra point was missed by Kenny Spencer, leaving the score at 42-27. But then Albany managed to ice the game with some stout defense, and Adrian Trevino nailed a 31-yard field goal at the 9:59 mark to give Albany a 45-27 lead, which eventually wound up being the final score of the game. And let me tell you all, that's a winner chicken dinner right there. Championship dinner for that matter. Albany won, and Michael Benson had 1 touchdown, 3 carries, and 14 yards. Albany didn't really run the ball that much. It was basically an air raid. In the receiving department, Quentin Sims had 9 receptions for 93 yards and 4 touchdowns. And like I said, Tommy Grady was 16 for 25 with 5 touchdowns and 200 yards. That was huge right there. Tommy Grady putting on for his city and representing Huntington Beach to the fullest. So big ups to Tommy Grady. As for Philadelphia, Dan Raudabaugh also had 4 touchdowns. He was 26 for 39 for 300 yards and 1 interception, which was that pick 6 in the first quarter. Adrian Ferns had 5 carries for 1 yard, and then BJ Bunn had 10 receptions for 129 yards and 1 touchdown. So once again, not a whole lot of rushing. It was basically just an air raid in this match. So, but big ups to Albany for winning the Arena Bowl 32. Philadelphia, you have my praise as well. Unfortunately, you can't make it 2 straight football championships, but that's all right.
Man, well, hit the applause button for those cats, man. Albany, talk about a victory, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love the Arena Bowl. I mean, such a really neat type of football. It's something that I myself still am kind of considering. It's a different type of football. I mean, it's only like 7-on-7. It's weird. It's like 2 down linemen, or on defense, 3 linemen. Offensive lineman. It is just a different type of sport. But the Arena Bowl, certainly awesome. I mean, such a neat, different type of football. And yeah, Albany got this thing done. And wouldn't you know, Tom Grady, not Tom Brady, but Tom Grady. So that's pretty neat. Completely awesome thing, because he is a product of Southern California, which, just saying, is pretty cool. So really neat stuff there. And Albany defeating, once again, Philadelphia. Big ups to both teams for making it, but there can only be one champ. So Arena Bowl 32, there we are. And well, congratulations once again to Albany for winning this thing. The Albany Empire for claiming this is actually their first victory, if I'm not mistaken, right? First ever Arena Bowl?
I believe so. I'm just going to quickly look that up.
Yeah, because, I mean, I think this is the first time they've ever done it. So if they have, then hats off to them, and congratulations. What a neat victory for them. I mean, hey, you gotta You gotta take them as they come, because nothing's easy in professional sports, I'll tell you that. I mean, unless you're Lewis Hamilton and you're just dominating Formula 1. Just kidding. But, of course, for another day. But, yeah, I really think right now this is just a really... Arena ball is getting bigger and better. And certainly a league that I just want to see grow. You know, that and the Indoor Football League as well. But certainly a neat league. And lots to get into when it comes to those. We should start covering the IFL as well. That'd be kind of cool on 3 and Out. But definitely got to talk about that coming up on 3 and Out. And then actually, Taryn will be joining me on tomorrow's show. We might do the show a little bit earlier, dude. My bad. But we'll be talking about this tomorrow. I'll get a little more in depth. I can see if we could find the game on YouTube or something so I can actually watch it. But yeah, man. So there you have it, the Arena Bowl. And were you able to find that stat, Taryn?
Yes, and believe it or not, the Albany Empire hasn't been a franchise for too long. According to this, they were founded in 2018, so that's huge for them. So their head coach is Rob Keefe, and this is their first ever championship. So for being in their second year as a team, it's very impressive to see them winning the Arena Bowl championship. So big outs to all the New Yorkers. You have something to cheer about other than the Yankees. So yeah.
Other than we're going to get into the Yankees and plenty more. So with that said, y'all, that was our first break of the afternoon or the evening, depending on where you're listening from. We have a very long time to go. Trust me, y'all. We have so much to get into today, as I mentioned. I mean, my gosh. We've got to get into, let's see, where were we at today? We got a little bit of motorsports to get into for sure today. Really crazy weekend for Kevin Harvick and NASCAR, as well as MotoGP, man. I just can't stress it enough. Andrea Dovizioso, what an incredible job. I mean, if you have to watch that final lap, I have to post it or something on Twitter if you guys really get the entire gist of it. It was such a great thing. I actually posted it in one of our chats for the Extra Mile on YouTube, so I might just post that on Twitter. But we also got that MLS action. Atlanta United FC, NYCFC. Talk about a great game. NWSL, man. No game of the week for this week. I couldn't find one that was actually I don't want to say worth it, but nothing too competitive. It's basically just a lot of the top teams facing a lot of the bottom teams, so I'm kind of bummed out to say it like that. But at least we'll go over the games for this week. WNBA, we got a juggernaut going right now, but that juggernaut is not alone, because the sparks are certainly all over, but those Las Vegas Aces, those ladies are balling out. There is no other way to say it. They're freaking balling. That's all there is to it. Las Vegas is getting it done. Connecticut, not a bad team. I mean, pretty dang good team as a matter of fact, but the Aces doing what they do. I mean, so big ups to them. Also, we'll get into that and plenty more. Of course, the Bandits and the Pride in National Pro Fast Pitch getting ready to throw it down tomorrow. Will it go to all 5 games? I hope it does. I hope we really get a long series, but who knows? Could be one and done. Last year, the Pride swept them 2-0. This year, they changed the format, so I really like this. I don't even know if it's called the Coles Cup anymore, but we'll get into that. Of course, Giants and Phillies this past weekend. Ouch for the Phillies, but the Giants are bullying their way in to the wild card in the MLB. Also, we got plenty more to get into for this weekend. I mean, really, we have a whole bunch to get into for the upcoming weekend. I'm starting tonight, as a matter of fact. Starting in about a half an hour, we have Seattle Storm and Washington Mystics getting underway in the WNBA. As I mentioned already, the NPF National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series gets underway tomorrow. The Series of the Week in the MLB, we have, let's see, who do we have this week? We have the Cubs taking on the Pirates. As an Angels fan, I should know a thing or two about the Pirates after this past weekend, after they handed us our behinds, but it is what it is. But yeah, we have a really neat matchup there, Cubs and Pirates, in that crazy National League Central. Also, we have here some more coming up in the WNBA, Seattle Storm and the Connecticut Sun. They'll be going head-to-head. We'll be talking about the Sparks taking on the Chicago Sky coming up also this weekend. That's actually on Friday. And then over the weekend, so much to get into. MLS games galore. The New England Revolution are a team to watch right now. And they'll be taking on what should be the rivals if they're not, the New York Red Bulls. We'll be talking about the Bass Pro Shops NRA night race at Bristol in NASCAR. Also, the Brainerd Nats, they're calling it, but the Lucas Oil Nationals coming up in NHRA this weekend. As we get closer to Labor Day, and the U.S. Nats, really excited for that. Seattle Sounders FC and LA Galaxy. Can the Galaxy stop the freaking bleeding? And can the Sounders just shut them up and continue their press towards the top right now? LAFC is the team to beat, apparently, which I'm not too fond of that, but whatever, as an LA Galaxy fan. But hey, big ups to them. I mean, we still won out Tráfico, I'm just saying. But anyway, so looking forward to talking some MLS. Also, Premier League action. Tottenham Hotspur will be taking on Manchester City coming up this weekend. Really proud of that. Well, really excited for that game. I'm not proud of that. I don't know why I said that, but really excited for that game coming up early on in week 2 of the Premier League. And lots more, y'all. Las Vegas Aces taking on the Chicago Sky. And yeah, I think that's actually everything for this week, but we could probably find some more stuff. All that, of course, we're going to talk about the Pan Am Games, recapping that, getting into the FIBA World Cup, as a matter of fact, at the end of the month. Yeah, that's right. Talking some World Cup action for basketball. So anyway, y'all, got plenty of that coming up and more. You are tuned in live to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, right here with Mr. Taryn Rodriguez and me, your boy Larry B. We'll be right back at you on the other side of this break. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back after this.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you are listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my 2 co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running points, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, iesportsradio.com.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
The concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring.
the international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast.
run hard,
And come home first.
So join us, myself, Daryl Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello,
And Michael Ward.
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all. That is sports, i.e. Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Welcome back, sports fans. Well, there you have it, y'all. Lots of great shows you can catch here and elsewhere, y'all. Wait a Minute Show, the BS3 Sports Show, part of the X Squad, and of course, lots of great shows you can hear on IE Sports Radio. So, with that said, we're going to start things off this week with a little bit of soccer action. That's right. If you're a soccer fan, welcome to the Soccer Press portion of the show. We are going to get started right now, rocking and rolling with the NWSL, of course, National Women's Soccer League. We're getting real close to playoffs, and these teams are pretty much showing where they are and what they're going to be doing and all that good stuff. But this past weekend, the North Carolina Courage had every chance to beat a very tough Thorns team, but this Thorns team proves how they really are tough as Thorns. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, I get it. Yeah, stupid pun, whatever, my bad. But regardless, we actually have a game going on right now between the Sky Blue FC and the Red Stars, courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app where I'm getting my sources from. But on Sunday, the Thorns will take on the Courage, and this was a very good game. Regardless, I mean, okay, it was not a good game. It was a game that kind of made you think, how has this even happened twice in one game? But NCC, if you will, or the North Carolina Courage, had a game to forget. We have two heavyweights going at it, and how does this happen? Taryn, how does a team win a game if they didn't score once?
Yeah. To me, that's probably the $1 million question right there. So, yeah.
You know, it's happening to see right now, and yeah, I didn't even know it was like this. I didn't get a chance to see the game, but yeah, now look at the stats. This is terrible. So we have 2 own goals scored here. And it's kind of funny because the team that scores 3 goals is the team that loses. And the team that didn't score at all was the team to win it. Soccer is awesome. I'm sorry, but that is insane. So, Stephanie looks like Labby, or Lab, don't be sure her name. Abby, Urseg, and Crystal Dunn all score a goal in this match. The first one would be scored in the 4th minute by Kristen Dunn, and that was actually a score against the Portland Thorns in the 4th minute. So it was 1-0 early on in this game. We would go into the half, 1-0 Courage. And then in the second half, Stephanie Lab, or Stephanie Labbe, I don't want to put your name, L-A-B-B-E, but will score an own goal in the 56th minute. Well, we would get on later on into the game, and in the 82nd minute, Abby Urseg will score again. I mean, sorry, not again, but the North Carolina Courage will score again. This time, Abby Urseg, and well, it was an own goal as well. So, the only 2 goals of the day for the Portland Thorns were actually scored by North Carolina Courage players. So, I don't know. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. But, Taryn, man, what are your thoughts on this crazy game?
Yeah, and the more crazy thing about North Carolina was that they outshot Portland 20-10. So, that's completely beyond me. So, you gotta... So yeah, if you're North Carolina, you gotta like shake your head and be like, really? That happened? We actually lost? That really just happened to us? It's crazy. And if you're Portland, you're obviously counting your blessings when it comes to winning a game like that. And you just gotta take what you can get at this rate. These are 2 heavyweight teams. Obviously, You want a better matchup than that, but it's better to be lucky than good, honestly. So right now, and as those 2 teams actually played over the weekend, now Portland is tied for first in the NWSL standings. So that's pretty crazy, if you ask me. So Portland, that's basically a blessing right there. As you said, Larry, Chicago is playing Sky Blue right now. Chicago is the second, is the number 2 seed right now, behind Portland, I guess, in terms of like record or something like that. But that's just how it is. And North Carolina is in 3rd place, and then the Reign are in 4th place, following North Carolina. So those are your top 4. If the playoffs started today, it would be Portland 1 seed, Chicago 2 seed, North Carolina 3 seed, and then Reign 4 seed. But there should be plenty of season remaining. Some matchups I'm definitely looking forward to are the Reign. I expect the Reign and the Royals I'm going to be watching those 2 carefully because the Reign are in control of the last playoff spot. But if they somehow slip up and then Utah manages to win their game, then Utah could probably be in the 4th spot by next week. So there aren't too many noteworthy games, but definitely watch out for Reign in Utah. Portland is going to look to build off this crazy win. So there's that, obviously. But, Utah and Reign are definitely 2 teams better to watch for this weekend, since there's not too many games this weekend.
No, there's not, Taram. There's hardly any good games. There's no games, at all that are, I don't want to say worth watching, because soccer's always awesome. I mean, you might get a game where a team scores 3 and a team scores nothing, and the team that scored nothing wins. But, you may get that. But, we certainly did last weekend, but anyway, gotta stop trying to be funny, sorry. But with that said, as a matter of fact, my sources here, Taryn, has right now, courtesy of the ESPN ScoreCenter app, where I'm getting my sources from here, the Thorns actually lead by a point. So, yeah, I don't know if that's the website or not, and I know sometimes we have different sources and they say different things, but it is what it is. Regardless, right now, the Thorns would have 30 points, Chicago 29, the Courage with 28, and the Seattle Reign with 26. Right outside, Utah with 24, Houston with 22, Washington with 21, and then Orlando and Sky Blue have just seen better days. Orlando with 11 and Sky Blue with 9, but As of right now, we still have a couple more weeks to go. And really the big deal is just Portland and Chicago. Chicago's doing really, really well. And once again, they're playing Sky Blue. So with the win today, they will certainly take the lead over Portland. But will they? We shall see. But who knows? Sky Blue can come out and shock us and, defeat them. Though they haven't had the best season, they're still a professional team. And I'll always say that no one, quote-unquote, sucks in professional teams. That's all there is to it in professional leagues. Because they got there for sure. But as of right now, though, it's a shocker. Because, dude, straight up, the Thorns are coming off of, the Courage is coming off of a nice win last week over the Spirit at home, 1-0. And then they do this themselves. Not saying the Thorns, because the Thorns are certainly first place for a reason, okay? They just had a lucky game. I don't know what else you call it. The Thorns are coming fresh off of a loss in the Cascadia Cup, if you will, of this past week on Wednesday. The Reigns would lose to the Thorns. The Reign would defeat the Thorns 1-0. And the Thorns were certainly looking for some kind of, comeback or some kind of vengeful, tour there to get a victory. And they did, just in a weird way. But regardless, that is swept under the rug and that's over with. The Thorns will be taking on the Spirit next coming up on Saturday. And as for the Courage, you want nothing more than to get that bad taste out of your mouth, and they'll be coming up. They actually don't play for a while. Looking here, courtesy, once again, of the ESPN SportsCenter app, they do not play for a good minute. The Courage, their next game is actually, my gosh, look at this. Their next game is actually going to be Saturday, August 24th. So they have a good while to sit. That's got to suck, Taryn. Can you imagine that? Losing a game, but I feel like I'm just kicking NYC. Kicking NC Courage right now while they're down. I'm sorry. And to Angela, I know she works for that team, so I'm sorry, Angela, Miss Angela Winstead. She's in our PR department and a longtime listener of IE Sports Radio and 3 and Out. But in the defining moment. But my gosh, man, can you imagine that? They lost this game on the 11th by 2 own goals, okay? And the next time they're in action is going to be on the 24th. Coming up in 2 weeks. That is incredible, man. You just want to get that nasty taste out of your mouth of a loss, especially a loss in general, but a loss like that, that just hurts. So what do you think about that, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. So ever since they played that game on the 11th, Courage played their game on Sunday the 11th, they're going to have almost a 2-week layoff until their next game. And that's kind of the worst part about sports. If you get a layoff like that, it just suddenly disrupts your momentum and you run the risk of being rusty. And I've seen that happen when it comes to most teams, whether it's on the professional level, whether it's on the younger level. But either way, that's definitely a tough situation to be in, especially since you're trying to get the top spot. After that, tell you what, after seeing that game or after being notified of that game, anything can happen when it comes to soccer. You can't take any team for granted. And I can say this for pretty much any sport, You can't take any team for granted. You just can't play your worst game, because if you play your worst game and you take a team for granted and you're just not prepared, you could wind up on the wrong side of the score. So after, like I said, after that, after seeing North Carolina score 2 own goals and then lose, you got to do better. You got to go back to practice and say, why did we give up that goal? Why did we do that? Why did we lose? We looked sharp. We were coming off of a win. They were coming off of a loss. You just got to go back there and just correct everything and just do better. Like, that's the worst way to lose. That's the worst way to lose a game, just by yourself. And and that's the worst person you can just blame is yourself, because that just builds doubt inside of you, and then that doubt can carry over into a game, and you just can't have that. So the Courage have just got to wash off this loss. Don't let it define you, and just continue your preparation for August 24th.
Absolutely, man. So it should be a good game there, though. On the 24th, they got, they'll be taking on the Reign. That's definitely not an easy team. They are in that top 4 right now, hanging on, but they are in the top 4 right now. So that right there is a little bit of national women's soccer league action right there. Coming up this week, there's literally, like I said, it's nothing. Right now, we're currently at the half, by the way. Sky Blue FC will be taking on the Red Stars. They are at home at Sky Blue FC. I don't even know where that is. I think this was a New Jersey team before, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's find out where the heck that is. They are in your CAC Field, which I have no idea where that is. So anyway, regardless, there we go with a little bit of National Women's Soccer League action. Coming up this weekend, we have the Pride taking on the Royals and the Thorns taking on the Spirits on Saturday. And on Sunday, we have Sky Blue FC taking on the Seattle Reign, or Seattle Reign FC, and that will be that until next week, which we'll be back with you by next week, that is. So anyway, all right, so actually, you know what? We will be back next Wednesday. So let's just go ahead and get into the Wednesday games. And the Red Stars taking on the Pride and the Spirit taking on the Royals next Wednesday. And we'll catch you back up after that. So let's go ahead and move it on now into some Major League Soccer. Man, oh man. Darren, this past week, this was a doozy in soccer. Even crazier, because I mentioned, this was a game that some people would be like, oh, that's crap. And some people are like, that's a really good game. I'm talking about none other than Atlanta United FC taking on NYCFC. Now, unlike the game of the week in the NWSL, two teams, the team that won it did actually score. But, Taryn, if you think about it, are penalty kicks a gift, or are they just a product of bad play? So, if you think about it, is a penalty kick really something that can be related? Like, we might as well just give them. Like, it should have just been an own goal because it was that bad. Or was it total crap? So, I have no idea if it was VAR, or, once again, I didn't get to watch this game, but there were two penalty kicks that that awarded, I don't know if some people want to call it that or whatever, however you want to call it, but it was 2-1. And guess what? It was on two penalty kicks. So Joseph Martinez would actually score the first goal by way of penalty kick in the 42nd minute, 1-0 at the half, and then the 63rd minute, Joseph Martinez would score another one once again because of a penalty by way of penalty kick in the 63rd minute. Then we have Herber, I don't want to butcher his name, but with a goal for NYCFC in the 81st minute, but it just wasn't enough. And that was it. Atlanta United FC will win this thing at home 2-1, putting them in prime position they are close. Philadelphia Union is just going off this year, but Atlanta United, the defending champions, are all over them, and they're just 3 points back. Philadelphia has one tough game, and Atlanta gets another victory, man. Atlanta's going to take that. They're going to overtake in the East. So that was a really close game. Philadelphia did defeat Houston 2-1 this week as well. Close game for them, but there were no penalties and no own goals or none of that craziness. But Atlanta United FC, once again, they won by 2 penalty kicks. So give me your thoughts on this, Taryn. Really, what are your thoughts on these PKs? I know we didn't get a chance to see them. But really, what are your thoughts? Should NYCFC be kicking themselves? What do you think, man? They had a chance, because NYCFC is actually right now in 4th place. So if the playoffs start tomorrow, they're in the playoffs. But anyway, enough of me yapping, man. Terrence, your thoughts on this game?
So that is very crazy. And to answer your question, penalty kicks are basically, it's pressurizing on the goalie, and you have to feel for goalies because they have the biggest job in the world is just to prevent the goal. Anyone can, and to me, I was told once that you have to have a screw loose in order to play goalie, and that couldn't be more true, because you're basically carrying the team defensively, and you're preventing any and all shots from going in at goal. So to me, penalty kicks are just basically it's not really like a gift, but it depends on how you use the gift. Like, if you use it correctly, it definitely can help you. But if you just somehow whiff the kick or the goalie saves it, you're probably just kicking yourself saying, why did I miss that penalty kick? But for for Atlanta United beating NYC, New York, it's pretty good. It's a big win for them. It definitely keeps them in the hunt when it comes to the Eastern Conference. Like you said, Philadelphia is on top, but Atlanta United's not too far. So, and like you said, one game can pretty much change the momentum. And you never know when it comes to some of these other teams that could have probably vie for playoff position. So after the top 7, you have Toronto FC, which is basically borderline at the number 8 position behind Montreal Impact. Then you also have Orlando at number 9 with 31 points. They're currently playing in a game. And Chicago's up there. And then even Columbus is not too far as well. So you definitely got so the Eastern Conference is basically a log jam on who can possibly get what spot. As for the Western Conference, as you know, LAFC is basically the class of that conference. My thing wants to load. Yeah. So LAFC definitely is, like I said, is the top of the class, and I don't know why my thing is not, the Western Conference is not loading. Here we go. I just had to refresh the page.
Okay.
Yeah, LAFC is number 1. They're pretty much running away with the conference. Like you said, the Seattle Sounders are in second place, and Minnesota and San Jose are right behind them. The Galaxy have taken a few lumps on the head, so they definitely got to get it together and kick it into high gear. And once again, my little website's crashing. Then Real Salt Lake and FC Dallas round off the top 2 spots. You also got to watch out for the Portland Timbers. They're definitely a sleeper team to watch for. You can't afford to sleep on them. But for the Galaxy, I know you're a Galaxy fan, but what is going on with them LA Galaxy? I gotta tell you, they've lost
too many.
Yeah, they lost 3 in a row, unfortunately. Yeah, and their last one came in the Leagues Cup, but yeah, 3 in a row. 3 in a row. They gotta get it together. They play FC Dallas today. That's a huge game for both the Galaxy and FC Dallas. Dallas is trying to hang on to that final spot in the Western Conference, while the Galaxy are just searching for answers, just trying to kick it into high gear and just stop kicking themselves, because after they face the FC Dallas today, they also face the Seattle Sounders on Saturday, which is going to be a huge game right there. That could actually help them get back into the top like 4 spots. So yeah, that's definitely a game to watch for. I believe that is our game of the week right there. So I'm actually going to pass that back to you.
Yeah, speaking of the Seattle Sounders, they took on who is in our game of the week this week. We have 2 games of the week, as a matter of fact. Then in one of our games of the week, we have New England Revolution, which did take on Seattle Sounders, and this was a good game. This is almost as good as the Super Bowl, except for between New England and Seattle, except for, there was no pass on the goal line when it should have been a run. Anyway, cough, cough. Anyway, so Seattle and New England would tie last week 3-3 in a very good game. This next week is going to be insane because, by the way, LAFC just dealt with the Red Bulls at home 4-2 this past week. And now we have a very good game. And as you mentioned, yes, the LA Galaxy will be hosting Dallas tonight. FC Dallas, and I'm really hoping that we can at least do something. It would be nice. But I got a couple games going on right now at the moment, or one going on at the moment, and we got some going on tonight. But yes, this weekend we will have 2 games of the week here on iSports Radio. We'll be tweeting about New England Revolution will be at the New York Red Bulls, and I don't know, like I said, it should be a rivalry. If it's not, it should be, because, in other sports, this is definitely a rivalry. So, the Revolution, the Revs this year have done something. Look at this. They just tied the dang Seattle Sounders, and they are in second place of the West. LAFC is running away with the West right now. That's all there is to it. But look at this. The Revs are currently 6th. If the playoffs start tomorrow, they're in it. I mean, they're only 1 point ahead of Montreal with 34 points. Montreal has 33, but my gosh, if the Revs win this thing, they can really put themselves up there and up their stock for the playoffs. Now, as for the Red Bulls, they're right there too. They're only 3 points ahead of the Red Bulls. So it's really neat. This is a really good game next week because win or lose, these teams are going to be in a certain situation. Okay, Montreal gets a victory because let's see, who does Montreal have next week? They have FC Dallas. So if they defeat FC Dallas at home, they get 3 points. If they get a tie, they get 1 point. So guess what? New England Revolution needs at least a tie to hang on. Well, maybe not at least a tie. If they lose, then they better hope that FC Dallas defeats Montreal. But also, the Red Bulls, I mean, if with a loss here and a win, they're tied. They're right there along with the Revolution. I don't know how it's going to go goal differential or however they do it. But the Revs are going to be right there along with the Red Bulls. And depending on what happens with NYCFC, if they happen to lose, my gosh, the Revs are in business. They're right there. I mean, DC United, if they fall this week, my gosh, the Revs, if the Revs win and those 3 teams lose, the Revs are in very good position right now in the East. So I don't know how that's going to look, but I'm just saying, I'm not trying to say those teams are going to lose either. I mean, Vancouver will be taking on DC United. So, I mean, I got some good games coming up, but my gosh, that's going to be a good one. And then in the West, LA Galaxy will be hosting the Seattle Sounders, and my gosh, I'm telling you, it's like the Galaxy, they love to just destroy their fans. Like, I mean, seriously. I mean, not in like a bad way, like they actually like do it like on purpose, but I mean, seriously, this team just wins and loses, and they get great wins. We're like, yeah, that's our team. That's the team we've been waiting for, and then they just kind of stop doing that. They are extremely inconsistent, and it is really annoying the crap out of me this year, but it's been like that the last couple of years. Regardless, the Galaxy have found themselves now, as Taryn mentioned earlier, in 5th place with 37 points. It is frustrating like crap, but the victory this week, once again, look how close the standings are. Besides LAFC just eating everyone like a dang breakfast burrito, which sounds absolutely delicious right now, by the way, this is bad. I mean, Seattle Sounders has 39. Okay? They have Minnesota with 38. San Jose with 38. The Galaxy with 37. And Real Salt Lake with 36. If Dallas defeats the Galaxy tonight, that's going to push out Real Salt Lake and put Dallas ahead of the Galaxy. So seriously, they can jump to 39 points tonight. If Dallas wins tonight, wow. So if Dallas gets a victory, they'll be up to 3rd. They'll be from out of the playoffs into 3rd. So that's how close, besides LAFC, that the West is right now, from 2nd all the way to about 8th. Okay, like it's a pretty good little gap, right? I mean, it's a pretty small little gap. It's only a 5-point gap from 2nd to 8th. So that is incredible. So right now we're going to find out who's who. But coming up tonight, as a matter of fact, we have here, let's go back to today on the 14th, courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app, where I'm getting my sources from here. We have Orlando City SC right now leading Kansas City, SC Kansas City, 1-0 in the 27th minute. Then coming up after that, we have Minnesota taking on Colorado at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. After that, we will have 2 games. Actually, no, we have one. We have one game at 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Sounders will be taking on Salt Lake in Salt Lake. Then we have the LA Galaxy hosting FC Dallas, and then that's at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and then at 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Portland taking on Chicago. So lots of great soccer tonight. Really, really some good stuff there in the MLS. And as Taryn and I mentioned already a couple times, we're going to get the top 6 of each of the conferences. We have here in the East, Philadelphia with 45 points, Atlanta United with 42, DC United with 39, NYCFC with 38, New York Red Bulls with 37, and the New England Revolution with 34. Into the West, we have LACFC with 55. Seattle with 39. Minnesota with 38. San Jose with 38. Los Angeles Galaxy with 37. And Real Salt Lake with 37. And there you have it for right now. So, before we go ahead and move on to the Premier League, which is going to be kind of short and sweet for right now, anything else in the MLS, Darren?
So, yeah, you actually mentioned the New York Red Bulls and the New England Revolution in that game. You know, those two teams are still trying to vie for playoff position. You know, New England's trying their hardest to hang on to that number 6 spot. A win for them on Saturday would definitely help them. But you gotta, you know, like I said, you gotta take care of business. You know, you can't overlook anybody. You can't underestimate anybody. You know, New England definitely wants to make the playoffs. And, you know, as the season progresses, like you said, we're going to find out who's who and which team is real and which team is not real. As for the LA Galaxy, you know, I think tonight will be their night. They're pretty much their spiritual cleansing on getting back into the W column. So honestly, you know, if I had to choose, I'd probably say the Galaxy win tonight. Book it on that one. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong.
Well, thank you, Darren, because I hope you're right. I really do, because LA Galaxy don't win tonight. That tumble just might continue. I really hope it doesn't. But anyway, so on to the Premier League. It just started last week, so English Premier League, great stuff here. Last week on Friday, we got Liverpool starting things off. We'll talk about them momentarily in the UEFA Super League right now, Cup. But Liverpool will start things off with a 4-1 victory at home over Norwich. I think Norwich is the team that just got relegated up. I mean, well, they just got beat down, but at least they got to play Liverpool. They got to play in the season in the Premier League this year. But we have on Saturday, so that was the first game on Friday night. Saturday, Manchester United just absolutely obliterates West Ham, just 5-0, just eat them alive. What a freaking game for Manchester City. Then we have Bournemouth and Sheffield United with a 1-1 draw. Burnley and Southampton 3-0. Burnley will win that one. Crystal Palace and Everton with a 0-0 draw. We have here Brighton defeating Watford 3-0 on the road, and Tottenham defeating Aston Villa 3-1 at home. And then on to Sunday, the Wolves. How about the Wolves, man? I mean, not that Leicester is, you know, this crazy hardcore top of the line team, and they won it all 2 years ago. It's pretty cool. But Leicester City and Wolves with a 0-0 draw. Arsenal will defeat Newcastle 1-0, and then the game, I mean, I guess this would have been the game of the week, but it was anything but a game to watch unless you're a Manchester United fan. Definitely one to forget for Chelsea. I mean, this is talk about the woes, man. The Chelsea and the North Carolina Courage and NYCFC, man. Those fans all got something in common. Ouch, this past week. But Manchester United just puts up a 4-burger. I mean, I don't know if you can you use that term in soccer, man, but Manchester United just took out Chelsea 4-0, and I talk about a beatdown. So, coming up this week for you, we got the game of the week that I'm really excited for. That's I think this is going to be a really good game. Like, I really do. And if it's not, well, then whatever. But I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. And this is going to be on Saturday, well, night for the people in the UK, but morning or afternoon over here, depending on where you are in the US. Manchester City will host Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham last year, I mean, come on, man. They went pretty dang far in the UEFA Champions League. They got a pretty good stout team. Manchester City, I forgot how far they went in the Champions League. But regardless, good tough team right here. Both these teams last week, I mean, Tottenham 3-1 victory over Aston Villa at home. Once again, it's a team I think has got relegated up, so it was no big deal, whatever. And as for Manchester City, 5-0 over West Ham. Not like once again, both these teams, it was kind of like, I don't want to call them tune-up games, but let's just say both these teams got wins off of teams that are probably going to be in the lower half of the Premier League. So anyway, your thoughts, Taryn, your thoughts on any of the games last week, and your thoughts on the game of the week for this week in the Premier League.
So there were some one-sided games, there were some close games. You know, good to see the Premier League starting, as for the game of the week, which happens to be which would
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's sorry. I'm look. Yeah, which would be the whatchamacallit? The Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur. Sorry. I'm definitely looking forward to that game. Tottenham is 1-0. And yeah, both teams are 1-0. Obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a game of the week. This league obviously just got started, so there's not too much to get into. It's definitely early. I definitely am looking forward to seeing how this league progresses. Obviously August is like the season where it starts, but as it progresses, it gets more exciting, and I definitely am looking forward to seeing how it goes further on.
You and me both, man. By the way, earlier today we had Liverpool defeating Chelsea. They went the distance. They went 2-2 draw, and then Liverpool will defeat Chelsea 5-4 in penalty kicks. So big ups to Liverpool, man. They get it done again. I mean, Liverpool is just the team to watch, I guess, right now. This team has just really become such they're awesome, man. They will they win this thing. It's their first Super Cup title since 2005. So big ups to Liverpool. Incredible job by this team. Last year, Liverpool was just the team to win it in the UEFA Champions League. I mean, it's a tough team, man. And let's see if they can continue on and get themselves another title. I mean, let's see what they can do this year. But, once again, big ups to Liverpool. And there we go. So, also right now, as a matter of fact, we have, I didn't even notice this, in the Campeones Cup, of course, the Champions Cup, we have here Atlanta United taking on Club America. And this already 1-0 right now for Atlanta United. So they're going head-to-head. This would be a pretty good game right here. Emerson Hindman scored in the 5th minute. So Club America, can they catch up? We shall see. Of course, one of the premier teams in Mexico. So let's see in the league in Liga MX. So got that going on right now. Also, we have some leagues coming up. Italian Serie A will be starting up on August 24th. Let's see here. I guess the North Carolina Courage know how that feels. Just kidding. After that, we have here, let's see, who else is starting up? The Bundesliga, as a matter of fact, will be starting up in 2 days, with Bayern Munich taking on Hertha Berlin. So that should be a pretty good game this week, starting us off in the Bundesliga. Then we have, also starting this week, Liga, or as we call it, Spanish Primera División, or of course, La Liga. I don't know. I would say, one of the biggest, baddest, but there's only like 3 teams that are actually good. Just saying. Not to diss. That kind of goes for all of the leagues, though. Every year it's like, oh crap, but then again, you have your standouts. But then again, it's like the big bad teams. Like we know who runs those leagues, which is kind of sad because it'd be kind of better to see lots of more competition. But anyway, Lyon actually got going last week as well. Lyon defeated Monaco 3-0. Let's see here. After that, we would have on Friday. Then on Saturday, we had Reims defeating and if I'm butchering these names, forgive me. Reims defeating Marseille 2-0 on the road. Angers defeating Bordeaux 3-1 at home. Looks like Brest and Toulouse with a 1-1 draw. Saint Etienne will defeat Dijon FCO 2-1 on the road. Rennes will defeat Montpellier 1-0 on the road. Nice defeats SC Amiens 2-1 at home. And then on to Sunday, Lille defeats Nantes 2-1 at home. Strasbourg defeats Metz that's a 1-1 draw between Strasbourg and Metz. And then PSG, why not? It's probably already over, okay? They're probably already going to win the freaking league and it just started. Yeah, typical PSG. But they defeat Nimes 3-0 in the opener. So there you go. And I think do we have a game in the league this week in let's see here. I forgot what it was. Do we have one? We don't. But, yeah, I didn't see what in here, and I don't know. I mean, we'll see if there's any that pop up like that. Look pretty good. But anyway, but yeah, Ligue 1, and then we got some more leagues coming your way. Of course, the Portuguese Liga. Next week, we got to, get more into, of course, the leagues that are going on right now. This Argentina Super League and Football Brasileiro, or Brasileiro League, the Brazilian league. So, with that said, there we go. And that's pretty much that, except for we got to put a nice, neat little bow, in the words of Gerald Kinsey Jr., on the table of the International Champions Cup, because that is concluded, and we are all finished as of last weekend. So, from the last time we were on air, August 3rd, Saturday, August 3rd, Manchester United defeats AC Milan 5-4 on penalty kicks after the 2-2 draw. So they would go right into PKs. They don't go into extra time. They just go right into PKs after the time. Inter Milan, there we go. Forza Inter, very proud of my team. Defeats Tottenham Hotspur. It was a 1-1 draw, but they also go into PKs. Inter Milan wins 4-3 in PKs. And then the last game of the ICC 2019, Atletico Madrid will defeat Juventus 2-1, and that is that for the ICC this year. Let's get a final read on the table. Once again, not that it means anything. It's just basically a glorified preseason tournament. But I don't care. I still think it's awesome. Excuse me. And we're going to read off the points. So, Benfica will win it this year. So, congratulations to Benfica. There you go. Congratulations to Benfica, the Portuguese Liga. They will win with 9 points. We have, Atletico Madrid with 8, Manchester United with 8, Arsenal with 7, Bayern Munich with 6, Tottenham Hotspur with 4, Inter Milan with 3, Fiorentina with 3, Juventus with 2, Real Madrid with 2, AC Milan with 1, and Guadalajara, Las Chivas with 1, and that is that for the ICC. So, before we close out the soccer press, Taryn, anything to add more on soccer?
No, not really, except penalty kicks could be the worst way to win or lose a game.
It's PKs are awesome. I love a World Series final with PKs. Isn't that fun? Just kidding. I'm sorry, a World Cup final. Excuse me. Which means that I guess I said World Series, so we should be getting into baseball pretty soon. So, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, well, we're going to be loading those bases, talking about some NPF, and of course, some Major League Baseball. Once again, you are listening to the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Lots more sports coming up on the other side of this break. Stay tuned, y'all. You don't want to miss it.
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green here, reminding you, tune in to the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2livestewsradio.com and Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Wait a Minute Show.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Indeed.
Told you I'll be back. This was supposed to be a short break. That's all it was. What's going on, sports fans? Me, your boy Larry B, bringing it back to you right here, along with Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, my co-host, bringing you back in for a little bit of talk around the diamond. Of course, that is Pro Fast Pitch and the MLB. Here we go. So, first things first, man. This last past weekend was definitely something. We had a very good series. Well, I guess you can't really call it a very good series, but a sweep by the Chicago Bandits. 2-game series. The Bandits would take both of those games and just pretty much show how good this team really is. Last year, these two teams would play in the Championship Series or in the Coles Cup. I don't know if it's formally known as the Coles Cup now, or but I don't know if they call it that anymore. But regardless, game 1, the Bandits would win on Saturday, 6-2. Big ups, man. What a great victory there for them. And then the next day was a really good competitive game. But regardless, Bandits put up 6, and well, Pride put up 3 more runs than their previous, but still no cigar. 5. So 6-5. Game number 2. The Bandits take game 2. And there you have it. So now we have ourselves the top 2 teams going head-to-head in the National Pro Fast Pitch Championship Series. And here we go. So they do not have the standings up on the website anymore. I don't know where the heck they went. But regardless, it's all good. And, well, that is that for the season. So, the National Pro Fast Pitch regular season has come to a conclusion, and that's how we do it, y'all. There's only 6 teams. And I'm really campaigning for them to be a team in LA or a team somewhere in California. I mean, seriously, this would be awesome to bring. We really need more teams for the NPF. I really hope more people get involved in this. It is such a great league. These ladies are extremely competitive, and I really want there to be many more teams. But we have here, of course, starting it off tomorrow, the Chicago Pride. Well, actually, I guess it's in the same place, so there's no home or away. But the away team, of course, the USSSA Pride, taking on the Chicago Bandits. And there it is. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, where they're going to be in the Midwest, and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Game number 1, Pride versus the Bandits. Game number 2 will then be on August 16th, on Friday. Bandits at Pride, or basically just wearing the opposite, who's wearing the home jerseys and who's wearing the away jerseys, basically. But anyway, same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, I'm sorry, 7 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. Wow, did I say 4 last time? I did. So, yeah, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Friday, Thursday and Friday. Saturday, same time again. There'll be the Pride versus the Bandits that day. Sunday will be the only day, if it's necessary, if there's not a sweep, where it'll be earlier in the day or a little bit earlier. It'll be 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Bandits versus the Pride. And then if we happen to get all the way to Game 5, which I really hope that we can get all the way into Game 5. That'll be awesome. We have the Pride versus the Bandits, and it'll be at the same time as all the other games at 5, well, except for Game 4, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and there you have it, Pride versus Bandits, and that is that. That literally is that. So, Taryn, you have been all over National Pro Fast Picks this week, or this season, for the most part. I mean, come on, man. Number one thing, what are your thoughts on the series from this past week, number 1. And number 2, really, what can we expect in the rematch of last year's Coles Cup, Coles Cup, and I think they went head-to-head in 2015 as well in the championship. So these two teams are definitely no stranger to each other, and yeah. So Taryn, the floor is yours, man. What are we looking for this week?
So in that second game between the Bandits and the Pride, it happened to have one of the more crazy endings. So it was actually 5-4 in favor of USSSA Pride, and then one of the players on the Bandits managed to get a double, which is very impressive. Scroggs was her name. Scroggs got a double, and then Amanda Chidester was intentionally walk, and then Katie Reed managed a pinch run, and then Flippin managed to hit a sac fly that scored Scroggs, and then brought Katie Reed to third, and then Abby Cheek was walked, and then the last pitch for that USSSA Pride was a wild pitch, which brought Scroggs, which managed to bring home Scroggs, Katie Reed, Katie Reed managed to bring it all home for the Bandits, and that was a crazy game. So if you're the Pride, you're definitely kicking yourself for blowing that game a little. But, now it's a clean slate, and apologies to everyone for me messing up the playoff format of the NPF. I thought it was top 4 teams make the playoffs, but I guess it's only the top 2. So that's definitely my bad. But as for the 2 teams between the Chicago Bandits and the USSSA Pride, it's certainly going to be an intense series. These 2 teams are definitely longtime rivals. As for the hero of the match in Sunday's game between the Pride and the Bandits, that would happen to go to Amanda Chidester, who was 2 for 3. She had 2 home runs, so she hit 2 dingers and she had 3 RBIs. So that was a huge game by her. She's only a rookie, believe it or not. So you gotta give big ups to her. As for the series this week, it's a little too early to tell, but I'm actually going to pick the Pride to win this one. I think the Pride took their lumps last week and the week before, having lost 4 to the Bandits, and they also lost to the Wild, I believe it was. So they're in a bit of a slump. It's just like the MLB. Every team goes through their highs and lows and their peaks and their valleys. And in National Pro Fast Pitch, it's no exception to any of those teams. The Pride definitely, they were pretty much invincible at home, and then they lost that one game to, I believe, the Aussie Peppers, and then they lost 2 more to the Chicago Bandits. So now the Pride, they basically lost out on being the top seed, but now they have a chance to redeem themselves. I definitely can see the Pride winning the series. It'll probably be close, maybe like 4 or 5 games, but I definitely think the Pride will repeat its chance. If I'm wrong again, I'm wrong, and I'll own up to it. But I'm liking the Pride so far. I think they have some good firepower, and I think these losses to the Chicago Bandits will humble them and say, you know what, we're not as invincible as everyone thought we were. And, and that's the thing about it's tough to repeat as champs in any sport, and the Pride are no exception. So, honestly, I think the Pride will come out swinging, no pun intended. And I think they're just going to have a clear eyes, full heart, can't lose attitude, as they lost the past 4 games to the Chicago Bandits. And then, they're just going to say, you know what, we're not letting the Bandits push us around anymore. I think once they win that first game, it's going to be their spiritual cleansing. It would have to probably be in Game 1 or Game 2. They definitely need their spiritual cleansing to get back on track, because if they lose, because the format is different, it's going to be best of 5, best 3 out of 5. So for the Pride, if they lose the first 2 games, they're basically in a 2-0 hole. So they'll need to steal at least Game 1 or Game 2. It's tough. It's going to be tough to win in Illinois, but I definitely think they definitely have a shot, and I'm pretty sure they won't have to deal with any thunderstorms like they've had to do when it came to playing in Florida, when it came to the USSSA Pride. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely keeping an eye on that series. I'll probably get more into it tomorrow on Bases Loaded, but for now I'm picking the Pride to win it all.
I agree. I it's hard to pick against the Pride. Number one thing, because they got a secret weapon, and her name is Sierra Romero. I mean, that's all there is to it. This woman is insane. She is, as I've said before, from this area in Marietta, actually, in the Inland Empire. Her and her sister, Sydney Romero. I am so freaking excited to see where Sydney Romero goes. If the Pride happened to land her sister, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome. I doubt they will, but if they do, it would be awesome. Regardless, Sierra Romero is just something else, man. This young woman is ridiculous. She is just all over the place, all over the field, all over everywhere, all over the diamond. Amazing shortstop. She holds the record for most home runs ever in the NCAA. Ever, like in all of softball. Okay, so yeah, I think this is just the kind of thing that she wants. You know, this is it. This is that series. She lives for these series. She lives for the big ones, you know, and I'm really excited to see what she's able to do in this series. I really hope it goes 5, but if it doesn't, it might go 4. I see these teams are going to beat each other. They've seen each other enough this year. They're going to beat each other. We're going to have at least game 4. But if we don't have game 4, I mean, clearly we have a dominant team. I do not for one second think that if the Chicago Bandits win it, it'll be a sweep. Nor do I think that the Pride will sweep the Bandits. I really genuinely do feel that it will probably go 4 or 5 games. Regardless, I don't see it any other way. I see the Pride winning this thing, and I'm really looking forward to a good series. But man, I'm sorry, Bandits. They're a good team. They absolutely are a good team. But the Pride is just, gosh dang it, this team is just, they're stacked. I mean, not that the Bandits aren't, but they really have so much firepower. And like I said, I think the X factor in this entire series is going to be Sierra Romero. So I'm very excited for them. And I want to, hopefully they can win another one. So we will see how that goes. And I agree with you 100%, though. I really do, Taryn. I really think that this is going to be a really good series. But regardless, I have this feeling that they're going to, that the Pride is going to win this thing. So what do you think? How many games?
I'm going to pick the Pride in 4 games, maybe 5. One pitcher I'm definitely looking forward to when it comes to the Pride is Jolene Henderson, and I think she's going to be the secret weapon for the Pride. And I think when it comes to this championship level, she's going to shine brightly. You know, I can say the same thing for Chicago, who have some star-studded athletes, but I think the Pride have taken their lumps, and they're saying, we're not as invincible as many people thought we were. So, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm definitely picking the Pride in 4. I'll probably get more into about this when it comes to tomorrow. Probably get into full depth. And they also have Megan Good, who also can pitch as well. And she puts the good in goodness, because she pitches really well. So there's reasons why her last name is Good. So we'll see how it goes.
Oh, she's certainly a good athlete, I'll tell you that right now. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump on over now into some MLB talk. I mean, we are getting close. Taryn, September is just weeks away. I know we just got into August, but this year is just flying by. And the season is just flying by for the MLB. I mean, it seems like it was yesterday I was watching opening day in March, and here we are now in August, and it's just something else. So, right now, plenty of baseball games going on right now. I'm going to give you the recap from earlier today. Once again, this is Wednesday, August 14th. So, courtesy of the courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app, the Rangers defeat the Blues 7-3. Yankees over the Orioles 6-5. Red Sox over the Indians 5-1. White Sox over the Astros 13-9. Brewers over the Twins 9-5.
6-5.
Oh yeah, sorry, 6-5. The Rockies over the Diamondbacks 7-6. Padres over the Rays 7-2. Athletics over the Giants 9-5, and the Nationals over the Reds 17-2. 5-7. Yeah, someone got irritated in that game. So, now currently, as of right now, got lots of ball games going on. Those are the only ones that are going on. I mean, those are the ones that are finished for the day. And other than that, it has been a crazy weekend, and pretty crazy for the Giants and the Phillies in two different ways. So we start things off for the game of the week last week. Phillies versus Giants. It was a 4-game series that just... It's like the Phillies never got their footing in this. The Giants would come out right out with a 5-0 victory. Just boom. Smack the Phillies in the mouth. The very next game... we would have the Phillies. They looked like they were onto something. 9-6. Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I guess it's not fair to me to say they didn't get their footing, but you'll see. The next two games, it's just they just couldn't get anything going. So we have a 1-1 series. All right, cool. Is it going to be 2-2? It's going to be really, it looked like possibly could be a split series. Then the next day was a low-scoring defensive battle, but it's just the Phillies couldn't get anything going. Regardless, the Giants get 3 runs of their own, and they go up, and it's like, all right, are we going to get a good Sunday Night Baseball game where it's really close and a really good game? And it's not that I don't think high-scoring games aren't good games, but this is like, there's no defense. And the Giants just ran the sucker up on them. I mean, it was close. In the 8th inning, it was 6-6. Courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app, where I'm getting my sources from. Right here, this thing was actually pretty neck and neck almost the entire game. The only time that it was ever kind of far apart, besides the ending score, was when the Phillies went up 5-2 in the 3rd inning after Hernandez would drive in Realmuto and Kingery. So I don't know. After that, they got close. It was 5-5 in the 3rd. Then it was 5-5 all the way into the bottom of the 6th. Let's see, Gennett, I don't butcher his name, but he homers this sucker 397 feet, putting the Giants up 6-5. Then Dickerson hit a sac fly. Realmuto will score. Kingery to 3rd, and it's a 6-6 game in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, the Giants are just not having it. Pillar will triple to deep right center. Longoria will score. It is 7-6 Giants. And then to add on to that, Smith will single to right. Pillar will score. And Crawford. It is 9-6 in the bottom of the 8th. And the Phillies just couldn't get anything going in the top of the 9th. And well, that's it. That's pretty much how this game would end, and the Giants will win this thing 3-1 in the series. At that point, the Giants would go up 59-60, and the Phillies would go to 60-58. Of course, that is as of right now, that is irrelevant because, of course, they have changed around a little bit. The Giants are now at 60-61 from 3 days ago, and the sorry about that. The Giants and then the Phillies would be 61-58 right now. So it's not too far out. I mean, the Phillies are 9 games back in the NL East. The Giants are 20 games back in the NL West, which we all kind of know the story about them and the Dodgers and just dominating the division. You know how that goes. But in the wild card right now, it's kind of what really matters for both of these teams, because the magic number, as of right now, I mean, the teams who are in it, Washington and St. Louis, 1 game back, or 2 games back. We have the Phillies, literally just 2 games back. And Frisco, they are 4 games back. So both these teams are fighting hard. If there had to be a team to win that series, it had to be the Giants. The Phillies, I'm not trying to say they didn't need it, because of course they need it. They're right there. They're still not in the playoffs right now, if the playoffs were to start tomorrow. But the Giants did what they needed to do, and that's all there was to it. They won the series. They got 3 wins. I'm sure they wish they could have got 4. I'm just saying. But other than that, Taryn, your thoughts on the series of the week?
So I actually predicted correctly that the Giants would win 3 out of 4 against the Phillies. Many of you are probably wondering, how did you predict that, Taryn? Well, it's simple. The Giants definitely needed that series, because if you see their schedule, they have a pretty they had a pretty big gauntlet going forward, and they actually got stomped on by the Nationals. They got swept by the Nationals prior to that series, so the Giants needed a wake-up call, and I think that getting swept by the Nationals kind of woke them up, and Mad Bum did his damage in that first game, and then Phillies obviously came back to win Game 2, and then the Giants just took games 3 and 4. The fourth game was very crazy because they were down 5-2, but then the bats suddenly came on, and then Tuesday the Giants beat the Oakland Athletics 3-2, surviving a little bit of a scare against the Athletics, as Will Smith, not related to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, managed to get the save for the Giants. Unfortunately, they lost today to the Athletics, but that's still pretty impressive. But they still have a pretty long way to go because they still have a gauntlet of a schedule as of right now. Tomorrow they open up a 4-game series at Arizona against the Diamondbacks. The next week they have a 3-game series at Chicago. Then later on that week they have a 2-game series at Oakland, and then they return home for 2 games on the 26th and 27th of August against the Diamondbacks. And then it starts to clear up for them as they play the San Diego Padres on Thursday the 29th, Friday the 30th, and Saturday the 31st.
Well,
and then they also close out on Sunday, September the 1st, against the Padres as well. So looking at this Giants schedule, they're playing some tough teams for the most part. They even have a 3-game series at Fenway against the Red Sox. So there's that. So like you said, Larry, it's the wild card is definitely close. Any especially in the National League. I think the National League is definitely closer. The American League is somewhat close. You obviously have Cleveland leading the way in the first wild card spot. Then Tampa Bay, who continues to have their pretty light schedule as of late, is in the second wild card spot. They did lose to the Padres, which was kind of a shocker, but it's kind of tough to sweep some of these wishy-washy teams. But Friday, not saying that the Padres are wishy-washy, because the Padres have definitely improved, but it doesn't look like they're going to be seeing the postseason. So sorry to all you San Diegans. But Friday for the Rays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they have the Detroit Tigers, then they have the Mariners, then the Orioles. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the 27th, 28th, and 29th of August, that's when it starts to heat up for the Rays as they play at Houston. Then they have a 3-game series after that against the Indians. Then, it goes back to being a little light against the Orioles and the Blue Jays. That's kind of the beauty of being in the AL East. You get to play the Blue Jays and the Orioles, who are pretty much struggling. So pretty much, and then you also have Oakland, who you can't sleep on. They're 2 games back. They're trying to figure it out. I definitely want to see Oakland have a breakthrough and possibly make the playoffs, but it's going to take string together some wins and just not still being high on the wins. Obviously it's tough to maintain consistency. Looking at the Athletics record, or the Athletics schedule, they have a 4-game series at home against the Astros. Then they play the Yankees at home, and when they play the Giants. Then it starts to lighten up a little with a 4-game series against the Royals on the 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. And then after that, they play at Yankee Stadium in that shoebox. So definitely watch out for the Athletics. But if the Athletics go cold, then they can pretty much kiss the postseason goodbye. And then the Red Sox, to me, I was a little puzzled on. I'm very puzzled on how they've been doing recently. Obviously, they ended their losing streak. I wouldn't call it a losing streak. I think they lost like 9 out of 10 or something. And then they won the first 2 games against the Angels at Fenway. And then the next 2 games, they just suddenly went stone cold against the Angels, including a 10-inning loss to the Angels, which pretty much gave the Angels a split of the series. But it's looking, as of right now, the Boston Red Sox are 7.5 games behind for the final wild card spot. They did manage to scrap together 2 wins against the Indians, including a 10-inning win on the road against Cleveland. So, but the Red Sox, if there's a time where for the Red Sox to get it going, they're going to have to get it going now because, it's pretty much do or die. Blake, Brandon, and I will probably talk more about the Red Sox tomorrow, but it's looking like their window is closing when it comes to playoff time. They do happen to have some games, a 3-game series against Baltimore at Boston, and then they have the Phillies, the Padres, the Rockies, and then they're away at the Angels. So after their series against the Phillies, they're pretty much going to be on the road. So the Red Sox have pretty much got to kick it into high gear and keep swinging for the fences if they want to still have a chance to make the wild card and the playoffs.
Speaking of those, I shot the Darren, but absolutely, man. Speaking of those Red Sox, big ups to my Angels, man. Oh, I love it. 2-2. We'll take the split. That works for me. Nice victory there. We got 2 on them. They got 2 on us. Who cares? I think that's a victory to me. We can tie that team. That's awesome. So, we'll split the series with them.
Andrew Benboom. Remember that name. That's the guy that won it for the Angels.
Andrew, huh?
Yeah, Andrew Benboom, who came from the Tampa Bay Rays. And, David Fletcher was on third. And then, there were 2 outs in the top of the 10th. And then he managed to hit a single. This was his debut as an Angel. So to come up with a big-time single for the Angels in your debut as an Angel is just pretty magical. So big ups to Andrew Benboom. He's going to be starting tonight for the Angels as of right now. So hopefully we can see him do some more great things.
I hope so. We're playing right now, and we're playing against the Pirates at the moment. So hopefully we can get a victory against these guys. I forgot to know where we are right now with that. But also, speaking this week, we have the Series of the Week. This should be a fun one. Cubs taking on the Pirates Friday. It's a 3-game series. Friday at 4 or 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. On Saturday, 10:35 a.m. Pacific Time, 1:35 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on to Sunday, of course, Sunday Night Baseball, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Cubs taking on the Pirates. Let's zoom in now on the NL Central and what a crazy division it has been all season long. It's only a 14-game gap. Of course, that gap has gotten a little bigger. The Pirates still a very dangerous team. So it's first place versus last place in the NL Central. Chicago leads this thing at 64-55. And put the Pittsburgh Pirates at 50-69. Once again, it's a 14-game gap, but my gosh, what a close gap. What a close division this has been all season long. And though the gap has widened, at one point it was like freaking 5 or 6 games. These teams were all divided by. But regardless, should be a really good series. Your thoughts, Taryn? Your thoughts on the series? Who wins it and why?
So believe it or not, I'm actually going to take the Cubs to win this series. I think the Pirates are going to take game 1, and then the Cubs are going to take the next 2 games. But I will say this, the Pirates are not to be slept on because they have some really talented hitters such as Josh Bell, who's having a phenomenal season with 98 RBIs and 31 home runs with a .288 batting average. And then Brian Reynolds, who is batting .338 for the Pirates as well. So as for the Cubs, you have Javier Baez, who has 81 RBIs and 28 home runs. Then you also have Chris Bryant, who leads them in batting average with .292, and then Javier Baez obviously leads the Cubs with 81 RBIs. So, I think that as the playoffs get closer and closer, I really think the Cubs are going to be making a big push. And, don't get me wrong, I think Pittsburgh has some talent, especially with players like Bell and Reynolds. But I definitely think the Cubs need this series more. It's definitely going to be tough to win in Pittsburgh, especially with all the Yinzers, if that's who they're called. But Chicago, I can see them winning this one 2-1. even though John Lester is old and he's 10-7, he's John Lester. You gotta give it up for him. So I got the Cubs winning 2-1 this series. So they definitely need to build on their NL Central lead, which is pretty close. You're looking at the NL Central, they lead the Cardinals by 1 game. As of right now, the Cardinals are playing the Royals, which on paper the Cardinals should win. And then looking at the Cardinals' schedule, they play the Reds this weekend. And then as for the Brewers, they managed to split a series against the Minnesota Twins. The Brewers also have a big series on Friday against the Washington Nationals, and that's going to be crucial for them. But, I definitely expect the Cubs to take at least 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. They definitely need as much insurance as possible, considering you never know what can happen in the next week or so. So we'll see what happens.
I like that. I'm going to go the same thing, 2-1. I'm just going to be different. I'll just say the Pirates take game 2. But regardless, the Cubs are just a tough, nasty team. You're right. John Lester, he may be up there, but he's still one of the best pitchers in the league. And it's going to be quite the performance, I think, by the Cubs this week, because they're just trying to seal off this dang division, and they know that winning is the way to do it. Everyone does. So this is going to be a really exciting series, I think. The Pirates are definitely not to be slept on, as you said. But, I'm not trying to regurgitate everything you said, but I do agree that the Pirates are going to take one of these games. But I definitely see the Cubs taking 2 and just maybe not widening. I mean, if they can, a little bit, depending on the rest of the division this week. But I still see them being in the lead of this division at the end of the weekend. So, anyway, courtesy here of the ESPN Scorecard app, where we give them my sources from here, we'll drop down and take a look at the conferences, division by division. So, we have here in the AL East, we have the Yankees at 81-14. Sorry, 81-14. Wow, 81-41. The Tampa Bay Rays at 71-51. The Boston Red Sox at 64-59. Toronto at 51-73. And Baltimore at 39-82. In the AL Central, Minnesota at 72-48. Cleveland at 72-49. The White Sox, Chicago White Sox at 54-65. Kansas City at 43-77. And Detroit at 35-81. And in the AL West, we have Houston at 78-43. Oakland at 68-52. Texas at 60-60. The Angels, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim at 58-63. And Seattle at 49-71. Into the NL, we have in the NL East the Atlanta Braves at 71-50. Washington at 65-55. Philadelphia at 61-58. The New York Mets at 61-58 as well. And Miami at 44-74 in the Central. Chicago Cubs at 64-55. St. Louis at 62-55. Milwaukee at 63-58. Cincinnati at 56-63. And Pittsburgh at 50-69. And then moving on to the NL West, last but not least, the Dodgers. Just being a good team. I mean, seriously, this dang Dodgers team is a tough team. They've proven it. I mean, still leading right now with the best record in the MLB and the first team to 80. Actually, no, second best now, because the Yankees got them by 1. Which is crazy because, I don't know, the Yankees are a tough-ass team. That's all there is to it, man. The Yankees are one tough team. They have been this tough team all season long. But, anyways, without going too far into that, we have here the Dodgers at 80-41. But that right there is the best record, y'all. The best record, the second best record in the MLB. 80-41. Arizona at 61-60. The San Francisco Giants at 60-61. And the Padres at 56-64. And Colorado at 54-67. And that will do it for the MLB standings as of right now, and that'll pretty much do it for some baseball talk. Unless you want to add anything else there, Taryn, what you got?
So I actually meant to. I was actually asked this question last week, and I'm going to ask this question to you, Larry. obviously the New York Mets are one of the hotter teams in the MLB, and the Angels are one of the colder teams in the MLB. Going forward, as of this season and into the near future, who would you rather be? The cold Angels or the hot New York Mets? And keep in mind, this is going forward into the future, not just toward the end of this season. Going forward into the near future, into the future.
Well, with not knowing much about the Mets at all, I'm definitely, picking my team. Regardless, they still got Thor over there. That's great. Noah Syndergaard. But really, I don't know what else there is. This team was just removed from the World Series a couple of years ago, and they've just kind of seen better days. As for the Angels, I can speak on the Angels because I actually know a thing or two about this team, and gosh darn it, there are some things to be excited for, man. You got Shohei Ohtani, who's going to be there for a little bit, Calhoun is still banging him out. Doing the thing. Trout is now basically going to be there for his career. We know that, so that's awesome. Pujols has a couple, I don't know how many more years he's got in him, but he's doing his thing there. Pitching is all this team needs, man. There's everything. The bats are there, the field, infield, the outfield. There's everything you want in this team. They're a very tough team, and though they're not doing that great at the moment, it's I feel like the Angels are a couple pictures away from being just a stacked baseball team, and it's whenever we make the jump to go get those pictures. So they're out there, but we just got to go make the right moves, and something we haven't done. But once again, not being the biggest baseball guy, and I'll fully admit it, I definitely would like to see the Mets do better as well. I think it's great that all teams revolve and everything, but when it comes down to it, I can't go against my team, and I do think that right now this team has so much potential. But once again, just the pitching.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it on the head, and that's pretty much what everyone has been telling me the past whenever I ask that question, including Blake Henley and Brandon Buckingham. So I'm glad to see that everyone's on the same page for the most part. But no disrespect to the Mets, and shout out to Pierre Moss. But the Mets, obviously, would you rather have the best player in baseball along with some decent hitters, or would you rather be in a logjam? In the NL East, in the National League in general. Obviously the Angels are in a tough predicament being in the AL West, but they were actually at one point they were like 54-49 and having swept the best team in the league, and then suddenly they got on this cold streak, and the thing that I think ruined it was the Baltimore Orioles. And one of my friends who is a Baltimore Orioles fan pretty much said it best. The Orioles pretty much wrecked the Angels and broke the Angels, which is sad to say, but it's kind of the truth. But hopefully the Angels can finish strong. Blake Henley said it best. Angels fans, look toward the future.
Absolutely, and I would love to. I can't wait for that. Trust me. So, anyway, alrighty. Well, absolutely, and great question there, Mr. Terrence. So, we're going to take ourselves a short break. When we get back, my gosh, we covered a lot so far for today, and we still got plenty more. We got another hour to go, sports fans. So, I hope you're ready for a whole lot more sports talk. We still got. Let's see. So, we got some soccer. We got baseball down. We still got the motorsports, of course. IndyCar coming up here, the ABC Supply 500 coming up this weekend. We got to talk some last week, MotoGP and the Austrian Grand Prix, because what an incredible finish that was. We have NASCAR, of course, coming up here. We got Kevin Harvick doing his thing, winning it in Michigan. And by the way, Bristol, baby. Oh, yeah, it's coming up. The last great Coliseum. It's Bristol, baby. We're excited for that one coming up here. Also, we got some WNBA action to jump on into for this week. As a matter of fact, one of the games of the week has already begun an hour ago. So we'll get more into that. That will become when it's actually, an hour ago it began. And, look at that, might just be that. But we still got a good hour's worth coming your way. And, of course, closing things out with the Pan Am Games in Lima. So, once again, you're listening to The defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. It's me, your boy Larry B, and Mr. Terry Rodriguez bringing it to you. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Hello, soccer fans. Pierre Moss here with you. I am the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show right here on IE Sports Radio each and every week. Games and the best action from around the world of soccer. Not only do we have live scores for you, but we also news and all the latest stories from the soccer world right here on the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Come join us each and every week right here on IE Sports Radio.
Hi everybody, it's Calvin here from USRN, here to give you an important message. Since 2017, we have done our absolute best to provide you with nothing but the highest quality of sports calls in the greatest of quantity possible. Thanks to you, our station has grown more than we ever thought. That's why, with your help, we would like to grow even further. Just think, twice the amount of your favorite calls, 24 hours of coverage, talk shows, play-by-play, game-by-game analysis, and so much more. That's right, USRN2 is officially in development. But we can't do it alone. We have set up a GoFundMe page that you can access from our homepage on the left of your screen. We also are planning special giveaways and prizes to our highest donors. Our goal here at USRN is to bring you the best calls possible at no cost to you. In order to continue to do that, we need your help now. Please check out our GoFundMe page, and if you would like to know how you can help, you can email usrnradio@gmail.com. Without your support, we couldn't do what we do.
Good evening, sports fans. This is me, your boy Larry B, bringing you yet another action-packed, wall-to-wall episode of the defining moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Phil Robinson here at IE Sports Radio, taking this moment to welcome you to storm down the lane on the Fast Break Show with me and my man Phil Jones right now.
Hey everybody, it's the host of the fastest show on IE Sports Radio, Daryl Kinsey Jr., and I'm welcoming you to take a lap of the extra mile with me and my co-hosts Lolita Camillo, Caitlin Seen, and Michael Ward as we go through all of the news and updates in NASCAR, Formula One, IndyCar, and more. That's the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio.
Hello, lovelies. Caitlin Seam here, host of Not What It Seems, where nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. On IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Two Wheels Wednesday with Matt White, taking you inside the pit lane of British Superbike, World Superbike, and the big one, MotoGP.
Hey everyone, this is Felicia, the First Lady of IE Sports Radio and one of your esteemed co-hosts of Ring Rambling Radio, along with Martine Sandoval and Matt Petrushka, for all of your wrestling news and talk, from everything from WWE to Ring of Honor, All Elite Wrestling, New Japan, anything you like. Be sure to catch us right here on IE Sports Radio.
Hey there, hockey fans. This is Cal Henderson
with Nico Green.
And we are welcoming you to join us on the Neutral Zone presented by IE Sports Radio throughout the hockey season.
Buddy, let me tell you, hockey's never been hotter, and neither has the Neutral Zone.
You definitely don't want to miss it, so tune into youtube.com, IE Sports Radio, or IESportsRadio.com for all things that are hockey.
Hey everyone, this is your boy Phil Jones, co-host of the Unfiltered Truth with Phil Robinson III. Every Monday, 3:30, 6:30, and Tuesday, 5:30, 8:30. On IE Sports Radio, we're here to give you guys Raider news, breakdowns of both sides of the game, and interviews with active and former players and NFL analysts. Because we are here to give you nothing but the unfiltered truth. We want you guys to get the real stuff. So join us every Monday night and Tuesday night on IE Sports Radio.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry, inviting you to join myself, Callum Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here on IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head primetime face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
You love racing, and we love racing. So join myself, Lolita Camello, with my co-hosts, Daryl Kinsey Jr., Caitlin C., and Michael Ward as we talk racing on the Extra Mile here every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the IE Sports Radio Network, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Oh yeah, if you're a fan of professional wrestling, if you're a fan of WWE, if you're a fan of All Elite Wrestling, if you're a fan of the sport of professional wrestling, you're in the right place. Hello, I am the SoCal Saint, Martine Sandoval, coming to you live with Ring Rambling Radio, along with the First Lady of IE Sports Radio, Felicia, and my good brother, Matt Petrushka. It's Ring Rambling Radio, part of IE Sports Radio. Dig it!
Hello and welcome to the Soccer Scoreboard Show with your host, Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world, from the English Premier League to the World Cup to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a big fan of baseball? Well, then join us every Tuesday on the International Empire Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Brandon Buckingham. I have my co-host, Taryn Rodriguez, and Blake Henley. Join me every week when we will discuss the latest in sports. See you then.
What's up, IE Sports Radio family? This is John Felipe, one half of the Brothers Blue, coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina. You can catch me on any one of those shows, on 3 and Out, on The Brothers Blue on YouTube, as well as IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Warning, warning. The following opinions are not sanctioned by IE Sports Radio. The truth is a beautiful thing. We would never twist it, nor will it ever be sugar-coated, so prepare yourself. I'm Phil Robinson, he's Phil Jones, and this is The Unfiltered Truth.
Hello, this is Michael Ward from The Extra Mile, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, IE Sports Radio family, this is your boy, Mr. Gumbo himself, Caleb Fat Mac Reynolds. What up? You know I'm part of the Defining Moment NBA segment and also 3 and Out. Holla at your boy from the Big Easy all the way to your front door. This is IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back and in full force. I'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that commissioner's trophy when it's all said and done.
This is your Bautista, the Kurt Man. You can catch me each month alongside Vince Wright, sports governor of Minnesota, talking boxing on IE Sports Radio.
Hello, sports fans. This is Mike Pat, co-host of 3 and Out NFL Edition, editor of the IE Sports Radio blog, diehard Redskins fan, alumni of the Florida State University, and all-around sports fanatic. Come check out my stuff and more on IE Sports Radio, your feed for all that is sports.
Hey, this your boy Phil Jones, also the host of the Fast Break Show, with Phil Robertson III joining me as my sidekick as always. Look, we come at you guys every Friday night at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern. Look, we give you guys all the latest NBA news from NCAA as well, and the WNBA. We also let you guys know pregame, injuries, whatever you need to know for basketball, for your fantasy league as well. So look, y'all tune in for the Fast Break Show every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio. Y'all take care.
What's good, everybody? My name is Taryn Rodriguez, co-host for Bases Loaded. You can catch me, Brandon Buckingham, and Blake Henley on Bases Loaded at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time on IE Sports Radio. It's sure to be a grand slam.
This is Matt Petrushko, one half of the Good Brothers of Ring Ramblin' Radio, with Martine Sandoval and Felicia Ruizrager, and you can catch us each month talking everything wrestling right here on IE Sports Radio, your home for all that is sports.
Do you love college football? And do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS? Well then, look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
I look forward to that show, and I hope all of you do too, because it's going to be a fun one starting this weekend, Sunday, August 18th, coming up, man. Myself and Miss Stephanie are ready to rock and roll. Let's see what's going on with Blake and Christian for this weekend, but we're going to start things off. We're going to be previewing everything. Like, I'm talking about all the Power 5 conferences, who to look out for, taking a look at all the lower divisions and all kinds of fun stuff, NAIA talk, and all kinds of good stuff. So, football season is back, y'all, and we are ready to rock and roll. With that said, let's jump on in to the remainder of our show. If you have been listening for the last 2 hours and 10 minutes, you are awesome. It has been a long one, but a good one, and you know how we do it here on The Defining Moment. 3 hours of wall-to-wall action-packed sports, because that's how we do it. With that said, welcoming back my boy Taryn Rodriguez, man. Was that a nice break? What did you do on your break, man? Just kidding.
So I actually looked up the Team USA men's basketball roster, and the past couple days, we actually had some not so great news with Kyle Lowry withdrawing from the USA Basketball World Cup team. So it's tough for him because he had a thumb injury, and he's going to be preparing for the Toronto Raptors training camp. So our prayers and thoughts go out to Mr. Kyle Lowry, the NBA champion. So as of right now, there are 15 remaining players on the Team USA basketball team, but only 12 will make it to China. So those players are, in terms of guards, De'Aaron Fox of Sacramento, Joe Harris of the Brooklyn Nets, Donovan Mitchell of the Utah Jazz, Marcus Smart of the Boston Celtics, Kemba Walker of the Boston Celtics, and Derek White of the San Antonio Spurs. For forwards, there's Harrison Barnes of the Sacramento Kings, Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, Kyle Kuzma of the Los Angeles Lakers, Chris Middleton of the Milwaukee Bucks, Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics, and PJ Tucker of the Houston Rockets. And as for the centers, they consist of Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks, Mason Plumlee of the Denver Nuggets, and Miles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. So this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, which they did yesterday, and they are doing today and tomorrow, they will be practicing at the Lakers training facility. And the Americans have a face Spain in an exhibition game on Friday in Anaheim. So if you're not busy, I believe it'll be played at the Honda Center, or as I call it, the Pond.
Yeah, the Anaheim Pond.
They'll be playing on Friday, and they'll leave for more training against exhibitions in Australia on Saturday and Sunday for PHL time. So that's your news in regards to the Team USA men's basketball team. So hopefully we'll see who makes the team and who doesn't. You know, me as a Laker fan, I'm hoping for Kyle Kuzma to make it. He definitely wants his presence to be known. I think he has a good chance of making it, but we'll see what happens.
I hope so, man. Right now, just I don't know. We talked about last week, and for the players who decline, I mean, it is what it is. They may already have medals in the whole bit, but when it comes down to it, man, it's just an honor to wear your country's jersey and to play for your country. So if they're withdrawing for their injuries and everything, and for to save themselves for the NBA season, that's cool. But if you're just not playing because you don't want to play, I feel like it's like, you know, the Pro Bowl is something completely different. I still think that's an honor, but like still, it's something that you should. I mean, come on, like it's the end of the season. With this, you don't want to get hurt at the beginning of the season. I understand that. But still, I don't know. I just really think that it's an honor. And if you get a chance to play in this, why not? And if you have already, cool. But if you haven't got a chance to play in it yet, and you're declining, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you're trying to get better to play in it in the coming years. I don't know. But if you don't have an interest in it, then why? It's a gold medal. Like, that's freaking awesome. You know what I mean? Well, it's not. It's a cup. It's like the World Cup. It's like playing all year long in your regular season, but not playing in the World Cup. Like when it comes around. Like I'm gonna say it's huge. So anyway, all right. So that's a little bit of FIBA World Cup news. FIBA is actually starting up, or the World Cup is starting up in, my gosh, we got just a couple of weeks. August 31st is going to be awesome. So I'm really excited. We're gonna have ourselves an interesting couple of weeks until then, with hopefully not too many crazy storylines, but I'm really hoping that we get something going on here. But with that said, Taryn, interesting stuff there from FIBA. And how about let's just go into Lima, man. How about those games real quick, if you can throw us the medal count and talk about that basketball team and how they did.
So I'm going to be pulling up the Lima games right now. In regards to the Pan Am games, which I believe you're talking about, is that what you mean?
Yes, sorry. Yes, Lima 2019. Yes, sir.
Yeah. In regards to the Pan Am games, the USA had 3 gold medalists this past week. The first one being softball. Big ups to Team USA. Team USA is a softball team for beating Canada in the gold medal match, winning 3-1. I'll be getting more into that on Bases Loaded, but that's huge for them. And then in water polo, the men's and the women's all managed to win gold against Canada as well. I believe the women won 24-4, and then the men won 18-8. I believe it was, maybe 6. Yeah, it bottom line, it was pretty much strong. It was 18-6, and some notable players on Team USA's men's water polo national team in the Pan Am Games were Ben Halleck and Johnny Hooper, and those two are from Harvard Westlake, which is in Studio City. And another local from Southern California is Alex Wolf from Huntington Beach, who was stout in at the goalie position. He was basically a brick wall. So big ups to Alex Wolf on being a brick wall and just stopping all the shots. So that's pretty good. That's really good. I'm happy for them, and I believe there were some locals on the women's team. If my thing wants to load up, but yeah, definitely. California has been blessed with some really talented water polo players. Not just from it's basically mainly from SoCal, and there are some Orange County players as well. So especially on the women's side, I believe for the national team it had one player from Corona Del Mar, Maddie Musselman, and then one player from Newport Beach, being Kaylee Gilchrist, and there are also plenty other Southern California players on the national team as well. So yeah, water polo in Southern California has just been a hotbed for Team USA, and it's just been amazing, honestly.
I mean, hats off to Team USA, man. Pan Am Games, great job, y'all. And, well, that is that. I mean, how cool is that? And yeah, big ups, man, to all the gold medalists. And, you gotta love these games, man. I just feel like there's so much that goes into playing for your country, or competing for your country. And I'm just such a... I don't know, that's just my thing. And, I don't know, I'm loving every bit of it. So, alright. With that said, a little bit of, let's see here, a little bit of some Pan Am Games there, so congratulations for the medal count. Once again, USA wins the medal count, correct?
Yeah, I just now pulled it up. USA won the medal count with 293 medals, 120 were gold, 88 were silver, and then 85 were bronze. Second place was Mexico, second place was Brazil with 171, with 55 gold, 45 silver, and 71 bronze. And then third place, despite them being ranked under Canada finished third in the medal count with 152 medals, which included 35 gold, 64 silver, and then 53 bronze. And then fourth was Mexico, who had 136 medals, which included 37 gold, 36 silver, and 63 bronze. Then fifth place was Argentina with 101 medals, which included 32 gold, 35 silver, and 34 bronze. And then sixth was Cuba, who had 33 gold, 27 silver, and 38 bronze. Then seventh was Colombia, who had 84 medals with 28 gold, 23 silver, and 33 bronze. And then Chile was eighth with 50 medals, which had 13 gold, 19 silver, and 18 bronze. And the Dominican Republic was ninth in medals with 40 medals, which included 10 gold, 13 silver, 17 bronze. And then Peru rounded up the bottom with 39 medals with 11 gold, 7 silver, and 21 bronze. So that's pretty much your medal count for the Pan Am Games. So big ups to everyone that medaled. Great job. If you could hit the applause button, that would be great. If not, then I'll just give them
applause button hit, because absolutely awesome stuff there, man. It's a lot of work, man. A lot goes into this. Into these games and the Olympics. I mean, I love it. So great stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. Your Lima 2019 recap from Mr. Taryn Rodriguez. Well done, good sir. Applause button for you. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, very welcome. So, good stuff there. A little bit of FIBA. And let's go ahead and jump right into some motorsports, man. So, I don't know. Were you able to see that last lap in the Austrian Grand Prix at MotoGP? Come on, Taryn. Were you?
Well, it was very crazy, to be honest. I saw that last lap, and I was like, whoa, that's so crazy.
The last couple of laps, Andrea Dovizioso and the champ, Marc Marquez, which is just dominated the entire freaking season. My gosh, these two went at it, and it was amazing to watch them fight. I mean, to watch them go at it. It was like watching Hector face Achilles, man. I mean, seriously, in Troy, like, it was awesome. These two guys went at it, and it was certainly a battle to watch. And you know what? You really got the sense that, you know, I don't know. You really got the sense that Marc Marquez is absolutely the class of MotoGP, but Dovizioso is just an incredible rider. And you got the sense that though the championship may, I mean, technically have a couple more months, if he can catch him, great. But, you know, that may have been a leaf turned over, man, or a stone turned over, we want to say, because, I mean, hey, in the championship, it is kind of lopsided, but courtesy of the MotoGP app right now, let's see, where are the standings at? The standings, I mean, Dovizioso is second place. You know, granted, it's a gigantic gap. I mean, Marc Marquez has 230, and the closest to him is Andrea Dovizioso with 172. So I'm just saying, you know, and then Danilo Petrucci is in third with 136. So that's your top three, and as you can see, there's clearly a huge gap. But Marc Marquez, though he's leading by a very large deficit, we have a good long ways to go. Am I trying to say that, you know, Dovizioso is going to overtake? I don't think so. I think Marquez is going to win himself another title. But if Dovizioso continues this type of riding, I mean, I don't know, maybe next year it'd be nice to see him, you know, challenge Marc Marquez coming up. If he rides the way he did last week, it's just that, my gosh, Marquez is just such an experienced, talented rider, and I'd love to see Dovizioso continue to fight him this year and get some big wins. And if he does, great. I don't see it. I think Marquez is just going to run away with the title, the same as what Lewis Hamilton is doing in Formula One right now. But I still just feel that it would be awesome to see these guys just go head to head in the coming weeks. And that, once again, that was in Austria. And after that, we have in a couple of weeks, not this weekend, but next weekend, the Go British Grand Prix coming up after that. And then we have so including the British Grand Prix, or the GoPro British Grand Prix, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more races left. Is it doable? Of course it is. But I just don't see it. Once again, Dovizioso is a very talented rider, but Marquez has just opened up a huge gap, and, well, it's just one of those things. So, anyway, big ups to Dovizioso for getting this victory. It was his first victory of the season, as a matter of fact. And I believe, take a look at the notes, his 14th of his career. So, any thoughts on this race, Taryn?
Well, in regards to MotoGP, you know, obviously Marquez is leading the pack, but that was very amazing by Dovizioso on that win. That was just quite amazing. You know, to snatch victory like that is just woof. But Marquez is definitely the class of the. MotoGP, but Dovizioso, I think, must have catapulted his way to the top 5 because that was a huge win. And when it comes to sports like these, one win could catapult you from the bottom of the barrel to near the top of the food chain. So you gotta give big ups to Dovizioso on that win, on the win. It's only his second win. Marquez leads the way with 6 wins, and then Petrucci and Rins also have 1 win, as well as Vinales. So, and then Marquez definitely leads podiums with 10. So, big ups to them. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
It's all good. Just learning along. It's all good, man. So, with that said, I really do think it's This is Marc Marquez's championship to lose. I don't think he's going to lose it. But if he does, my gosh, Dovizioso better be ready to to overtake, which I don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, it's only his first win of the year, which goes to say that I think Marquez has a few more in him out of these last 8 races, regardless of who wins any of the others. So, with that said, that is pretty much it. Make sure you check out from earlier today. You can catch Moto 2 and Moto 3, as well as MotoGP, on Two Wheels Wednesday with Mr. Matt White earlier today from jolly old England. So, great show as always. And he had a good one today. I heard the end of it, so I got to check out the rest of that one. But make sure to check it out. And Mr. Matt White doing his thing. Also, recording hot laps for tomorrow on on the Extra Mile. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump on now into some NASCAR. Real quick, man, this was a great race. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but my gosh, it seemed like it was such a good one. In Michigan for the Consumers Energy 400 at MIS, Michigan International Speedway. And what a job. Kevin Harvick does the dang thing, man. He will win his 47th victory, man. He's almost to 50. And he will win his second race of the season, taking the checkered flag at the Consumers Energy 400 at Michigan. And just what a race this was for him. And, overall, man, Harvick is just... he's had a year of ups and downs. Last year, he started this thing off, 4-0? He won 4 races in a row. I think to start the season off, or 3 or something like that. But he was just winning like crazy. After that, he just no one really saw him again. And then this year, he's doing pretty okay. I mean, shoot, he's 3rd place right now overall in the standings. But Kevin Harvick, man, certainly somebody who, is not to be taken lightly. Certainly one of the best out there. One of the elders of NASCAR, but nothing, But the pole winner this week did not win it. Kevin Harvick got this thing done. Kevin Harvick actually started in 2nd, so, I mean, he had a good car to do it. The top 5, Denny Hamlin started in 14th in 2nd place. 3rd place, we had Kyle Larson, and he was at, he started in 17th. 4th place, Montrose Jr., who started in 15th. And 5th place, Daniel Suarez, which is very happy to see him up there. I'm a fan of his. He started in 11th place, so not too bad. As for the pole sitter, kind of sucks. He had a rough one, man. Starting in 1st place, but finished in 19th. Brad Keselowski, sorry about that, brother. And then the person who started 2nd, well, like I said, we all know that was Kevin Harvick who got that thing done. 3rd place, William Byron. He would start 3rd and finish 8th. Alex Bowman would finish 4th and finish 10th. And your 5th place, or the person who started 5th place, would finish in... Ouch, I think he may have either had an accident or, I don't know if that worked. I don't know how he finished, but 37th out of 38, so tough go for him. But that is a little bit of a look at this weekend's race. So, your thoughts, Mr. Taryn?
So definitely big ups to Kevin Harvick that's his 47th win. You said if that's the case, then it's going to be pretty amazing when he gets number 50. But Kevin Harvick's still going strong, and once again that win has catapulted him into the top 5 of the stands. He's now in 3rd with 822 points. Well, Mr. Kyle Busch leads with 892, and then Joey Logano is in 2nd place with 872, and then David Hamlin has 815, and then Truex Jr. rounds up the top 5 with 805. So, like I said, one win could boost you up, and it's great to see some balance and diversity and some competitiveness in the NASCAR standings. I'm definitely looking forward to next week to see if someone can actually knock off Kyle Busch from his top spot. But Kyle Busch is definitely in a league of his own. He's basically got the Mamba mentality, except it's the same beast but a different animal. That's what I gotta say.
I like it. Same beast but different animal. Makes sense. I like that. So as of right now, on the bubble, if the playoffs were to start tomorrow, which I think we have like 3 weeks until the playoffs start. So 15th and 16th right now, or 16th and 15th. the 2 wildcard drivers. I think that's how we're still doing it with the NASCAR playoffs. Hopefully I'm not giving you the wrong information here. But 16th and 15th, we have Clint Boyer and Ryan Newman. From 14th to 10, we have Eric Jones, Kyle Larson, William Byron, and Eric Almirola. From 10th to 6th, we have Alex Bowman, Ryan Blaney, Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, and Brad Keselowski. And then your current top 5, as you're tearing, just say Martin Truex, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. And man, this is going to be awesome. Can Joey Logano, the defending champ from last year, actually to do this? I mean, he's within 20 points right now, so this is going to be interesting as we go into the last great Coliseum at Bristol, baby. Oh yeah, I'm so excited for this race coming up on Saturday night. I'll actually have a game that night, but I do want to record this race, or at least check out some highlights of it. But should be a great race. Bristol was like the track I used to love to race when I was a kid on like NASCAR 98 or 99. I forgot what it was, but just such a great game, but such a great track. And yeah, great stuff there. So coming up this week in IndyCar, by the way, we have, don't forget, Formula One is on their break until Belgium, I think, on the 31st, or actually, no, on the 1st of September. So, other than that, we have IndyCar coming up here for the ABC Supply 500. And that, let's go ahead and jump on the official IndyCar app right here. So, let's go ahead and take a look over here. Alrighty, so we have the ABC Supply 500 at Long Pond, or in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. And that's it. We are so close. After that, we have the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 in Madison, Illinois. Then we have the Grand Prix of Portland coming up after that on September 1st. By the way, the Bommarito Automotive Group 500 in Madison, Illinois is going to be August 24th. After that, we have the Grand Prix of Portland in Portland, Oregon on September 1st. And then after that, we have the Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey in Monterey, California on September 22nd, 2019, and that is it. The championship will be all set. And speaking of the championship, well, let's take a look at those top 5 drivers right now. In 5th place, Will Power. This year, we have 3 poles and 0 wins, but 356 points for Will Power. Then we have with 2 wins and 0 poles this year, Scott Dixon with 442 pole points. After that, Sam Pagenaud with 3 wins and 3 poles with 457 points. Alexander Rossi. Oh, this is a good one between Rossi and Newgarden. 2 poles and 2 wins for Alexander Rossi this year, as he is in 2nd place with 488 points. And with 504 points, the only driver over 500 points right now, he has 4 wins and 1 pole this year. Joseph Newgarden, he's the man. He's doing it right now. So, is he going to win it this year? We shall see. Taryn, your thoughts on this upcoming race this week and some IndyCar?
So I'm definitely looking forward to all of these races. I'm going to try to watch and spectate some of these races. You know, it's definitely, I don't know how long it is until like the playoffs, but you know, as the playoffs do approach closely, as the playoffs are approaching, you know, I could definitely see some of these races just kicking into high gear when it, no pun intended, obviously, when it comes to some of these like races, and you know, well, actually, you know, I'm definitely
there are no IndyCar playoffs.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn this whole sport. You know, I'm still learning, but you know, I'm definitely looking forward to the races. I definitely want to actually like spectate the races. You know, I've just been busy, but you know, definitely can make time to watch a few IndyCar and all that.
Well, definitely looking forward to that, man. And yeah, IndyCar, it's just straightforward. There's 16 races, and whoever has the most points in those 16 races wins it. Now, what does have playoffs is the NHRA, and we're getting close to the countdown to 1 for the NHRA. We have the coming up this week, as a matter of fact, the Lucas Oil, or they call it the Brainerd Nats, but the Lucas Oil Nationals coming up in the NHRA. So we're looking forward to that one. The last time we had some NHRA action, John Forrest won his 150th victory. So maybe we talked about that, Taryn. But coming up this week, we shall see who will come that closer, or who will come that much closer to clinching a playoff spot in the NHRA. So, any talk there on the NHRA, Taryn, or are we on to the next?
Not really. Yeah, Antron Brown is apparently Steve Torrance is still dominating, still in first place. If there weren't any races, then nothing's really changed. But Steve Torrance in Top Fuel is the man with 1,587 points, and he's clinched his countdown berth. Funny car if it wants to load, but but other than that, nothing too special. And then, and Funny Car, which finally decided to load. Robert Height is in first place with 1,341, and then John Force, your boy, has 1,155. Then Tommy Johnson Jr. has 1,117. Ron Capps has 1,057. Jack Beckman has 1,039, and then rounding up the top 6 is Bob Tasker III with 985. And those 6 have clinched a countdown berth, which is really cool. So big ups to them. And then as for Pro Stock, Bo Butner has 815 points. Greg Anderson has 769 points. Alex Laughlin has 742 points. And Matt Hartford has 679 points. Those 4 have clinched a playoff spot. And rounding up the top 5 is Jason Line, who has 644 points. So huge shout out to those racers. And then last but not least, Pro Stock Motorcycle, Andrew Hines has 967 points leading the way. Eddie Krajek has 770 points. Matt Smith has 712 points. Hector Arana Jr. has 658 points. Those 4 have clinched a countdown berth. And rounding up the top 5 is Karen Stouffer, representing the ladies, with 452 points, rounding up the top 5 in Pro Stock Motorcycle. So those are pretty much the standings. Back to you, Larry.
All right. Well, thank you once again, Mr. Taryn, for giving us those standings there for the NHRA. Certainly, Tony, man, love your enthusiasm and your effort, and definitely everything you put forth, man. I'm telling you, you make the show even better, brother. I'm telling you.
Thanks, Larry. Glad to help you out, and once again, glad to be here and glad to put on for the people.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for doing it. So, with that said, that will pretty much put a cap on all the motorsports for this week. And, well, as a matter of fact, that will do it until our next we'll take a short little break. When we get back, we are going to go ahead and conclude with some WNBA action. And, we got a fight this weekend. It's the little guys, but hey, it's still a good fight, and it's going to be on ESPN. With that said, y'all, you're listening to The Defining Moment right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Taryn Rodriguez and me, your boy Larry B. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, all my NBA college basketball fans out there. Tired of hearing about just the dramatic stuff in the basketball world. Tired of hearing about what such and such reward tonight and not about the game. Hey, leave all of that alone. Cause on Wednesday nights, I got this show called Fast Break with Phil Jones here on the IE Sports Radio. And all we talk about is straight basketball, from where it comes down to the NBA, the NCAA, and even the WNBA. I don't discriminate. I give all my NBA, my basketball, whatever you want with sports, to the slam dunks, to the three-pointers, to the teardrops, to the game winners. I'm there. I'm speaking about it. I have a debate. I have my panel. I got a squad that rolls in, and we're going to be talking mad sports. We're going to be talking about the Lakers. We're going to be talking about even the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to be talking about who's the top team out there in the NBA. So, tired of all the drama, tired of all the... What did he wear today? What kind of shoes he had? Forget all that. Just come over. Listen to Fast Break with Phil Jones here on IE Sports Radio every Wednesday night at 8 Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So, yo, tune in.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota, and I want to thank you for listening to Sports Done Right. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Spreaker.com, XSquadAffiliates.com. We're also heard on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, so keep it tuned here. More great things coming from Sports Done Right.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source. Can you dig it, you sucker?
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the colleges, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for the defining moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
That's right. Even though today was 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're not on Mondays, my bad. We will be actually starting this time at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time every Wednesday, but today we just got a little jump on it. Once again, because due to my crazy schedule with the start of school, of course I work for the school district, I coach, I play football, I run IE Sports Radio, well, now with the help of all of my colleagues, I play football and start my master's and all that fun stuff, so yeah, my time has been all over the place, as you can see, but regardless, big shout out to my boy Taryn, man, for just jumping on today. He's at the spur of the moment stuff. So, anyway, Taryn, you got some news for the U19 team, man. How about that?
Yeah, the U.S. Women's Lacrosse U19 team won the U19 World Championship this past weekend. They managed to beat Canada 13-3 in the championship match. And Canada the reigning champion after USA in 2015, and was a really strong zone defense. And if you know lacrosse, which I knew, zone defense can really. But Team USA was ready for that. They managed to break through the zone defense, and they never trailed in this match. And the halftime score was 17.
Oh, Taryn, you got some pretty dicey connection there, man. You still got us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, there we go. We're okay.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Team USA won 13-3 over Canada in the gold medal match. They were ready. Canada, the zone defense, which can hurt you if you are not prepared for it. I was ready for it with their high defense. They were led by Leah Holmes, who had 4 goals, but the MVP was Isabel Screen, who had 3 goals and 3 shots on goal. So she was a huge difference maker for Team USA. And big ups to Team USA. It's a great redemption match for them. So it's good that they got their redemption after losing it in 2015. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, congratulations to Team USA's women's U19 team on winning gold. And big ups to everyone who partook in the U19 World Championship. So, now let's kick it back to you, Larry.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff. Big ups to the USA, man. How about that? I love it. Great stuff, man. And, hey, hats off to Canada as well for getting there. So, great stuff. And gotta love some lacrosse, man. Can't wait to start talking some college lacrosse in the spring. I know you're ready for that, Taryn.
Definitely, and I'll be around doing high school lacrosse for Max Lax.
Well, that's gonna be awesome, man. So, all right. With that said, I know Taryn does some great work, man. I gotta check it out myself soon. But great stuff as always, man. No, I'm promising that. So I gotta check out your work and make sure you check out all of Taryn's stuff, man. He'll tell you where to find him on Twitter. But as of right now, some WNBA action is going down. We're in the second quarter with 2 minutes, in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. In this game, the Wings are leading the Sparks 76-70 in San Antonio. So, going to be a pretty good finish here. And, hopefully it's a Sparks victory, but we'll see. But, all right, so with that said, the Mystics also won today. They defeated the Storm 80-59. And then coming up momentarily at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Connecticut Sun taking on the Phoenix Mercury. And there you have it. So this past weekend, we had a couple really good games, but the big one was on Sunday. The Aces take out the Sun 89-1. Talk about this victory. My gosh, went to 16-9. On Sunday, and Connecticut dropped to 16-8. Courtney Williams for UConn, the guard, she went 13 points, 6 for 16, and 1 for 1 at the free throw. And Liz Cambage, center for Las Vegas, 21 points, 8 for 13 field goal, and 5 for 5 free throw. Taryn, how about this Las Vegas Aces team, man?
So, yeah, that was a good win for the Aces. That's a big win. You know, they were pretty much in control for the most part. And yesterday they won 94-90 over the Atlanta Dream. You know, it's been a little bit of a rough patch for the Aces as of late, as Friday they lost to the Sky by 3, and then Monday they got trounced by the Mystics. Last Monday they got trounced by the Mystics. But I think the Aces are starting to get together. They and the Sparks have the same record. We'll might have the same record in the Western Conference, unless the Sparks manage to come back, I'm hoping they do. And speaking of the Sparks have been hot as of late. You know, they've definitely won a fair share of their matches, and some of them have been big. The Chicago Sky was a huge win. The Seattle Storm was a huge win. The win over the Aces was definitely huge. You know, so you gotta give big ups to the Sparks. You know, hopefully they can manage to get this win over Dallas, because you know it's not, you can't lose to a pretty lowly team like the Dallas Wings. Not that I'm calling Dallas a lowly team, but you know, like I said, in most sports you can't underestimate anybody. You have to go out there and play your hardest. You know, it's not just in WNBA, it's not just in NBA, it's not just in MLB, it's in all sports. You gotta go out there and just freaking do it. Play. Don't underestimate anyone. Just because you have a better record than them doesn't mean anything. Just go out there, be humble, be hungry, just freaking do it.
Absolutely, man. So coming up for this week, kind of sucks to have to go fast through this, but coming up for this week, couple games of the week in the WNBA. Of course, one of them has started already, and that is Seattle Storm taking on the Mystics. Well, actually, that one's already over with. Mystics went ahead and won that one. Next up, we have coming up on Friday, the Storm taking on the Connecticut Sun. And also on Friday, the Los Angeles Sparks taking on the Chicago Sky. So those are going to be all very good games there on this weekend. Of course, I think there's one more, and there was one more. There is one more. On Sunday, we have the Las Vegas Aces taking on the Chicago Sky. So, your thoughts on any of those games there, Taryn?
So, yeah, definitely looking forward to the Aces going forward. If I'm the Chicago Sky, I don't overlook their next opponent, which is going to be on Friday against the Sparks. So they have a 2-game homestand, but it's a tough 2-game homestand. The Sky will have to make up some ground if they want to continue to make a push for the playoffs. You know, as for the Sparks, you know, if they somehow manage to hold on they're down 6 with 90 seconds left, you know. If the Sparks manage to continue to get hot in terms of their games, they can be a potential threat in the playoffs, because you definitely can't. Because the Sparks are definitely a good team with Candace Parker and a few other good players as well. But, you know, losses to the Dallas Wings don't really help. But, you know, you have to like the Sparks team being some of the tougher titans in the WNBA. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. So, with that said, let's take a look at the standings right now, courtesy of the ESPN Score Center. I'm going to a lot of time here, so I'm just going to go top 3. Washington leads at 18-7. Connecticut at 16-8, and Chicago at 14-10. And in the West, Las Vegas at 17-9. LA Sparks at 15-8, and Seattle at 14-2. So I think it's actually the top 4 that get in. So Indiana in the East has at 9-16, and Minnesota is at 13-12. So those are the fourth places there of each conference. But that's pretty much that as of right now. I'd love to continue more on the WNBA, but so we don't got a whole bunch of time. We got less than freaking we're a little bit over 4 minutes. So anything to add there for the end of the WNBA segment there, Mr. Taryn?
Well, for those that are at a nearby TV, and for those that can get this game, tune into the end of the Dallas Wings LA Sparks game. It's gonna come down to the wire. You know, it's basically Dallas is up 4 with 49.5 seconds left. You know, unfortunately, the Sparks just got a turnover, so it's not looking too good for the Sparks. But you know, crazier things have happened before.
Well, hopefully they win it. And last but not least, we got a fight this weekend on ESPN. And it's going to be a good one. Emmanuel Navarrete taking on Francisco de Vaca. Navarrete, 27-1 with 23 knockouts. And he's looking tough, man. He's won, he has won. His last loss was in 2012. So, yeah, he's done pretty well in the last couple of years, shall say. And then Francisco de Vaca, 20-0 with 6 knockouts, undefeated boxer. And, well, here we go. Taryn, your thoughts?
So, yeah, I'm pretty much going to take Navarrete to win just because he has the experience and he just has... And based on knockouts as well. Gotta give Divaca a good shot as well, but I think Navarrete's experience will definitely carry him through. As long as the match doesn't go too long, whichever boxer is the oldest, we'll have to hope that the game doesn't or the match doesn't go too long. Otherwise, the oldest boxer will probably get tired and could get tired down and worn out. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm definitely picking Navarrete to win. But I'm looking forward to this match.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a pretty good match here. It is for Navarrete's title, as a matter of fact, for Navarrete's WBO junior featherweight title. So I think he's going to retain his title as well. And it should be a pretty good fight, and we'll let you know about that next week. So with that said, Taryn, any last thoughts on today's show, man? Anything else you want to say?
No, not really. Just want to thank every one of our listeners for tuning in. We appreciate you and all your support for IE Sports Radio. Please definitely continue to follow us on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Pandora, TuneIn, all of that. And we appreciate all your support to all of our listeners and supporters.
We really do, man. So, Taryn, where can they find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter at Taryn Rodriguez1. My first name is spelled T-E-R-A-N, and then Rodriguez with a G in it, and then the number 1. And once again, that's at Taryn Rodriguez1. You can find me doing all kinds of sports, whether it's like high school or college or all that.
Alrighty. Well, that will do it for tonight. You know what that means. Cue the music, because we're out of here. Alright, y'all. It's been a great one. For my co-host, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, I'm going to say it one more time. For my co-host, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, and for me, your boy Larry B, you can follow me at VCHE_LB53 on Twitter. You can give us a follow on Twitter as a whole at IE Sports Radio. On Instagram at IE Sports Radio. Also, give us a like on Facebook. We'd certainly like that at IE Sports Radio. Check out our website at IESportsRadio.com and keep on showing us the love, y'all. As I always say, all glory to God. Without him, nothing is possible. And of course, all big shout outs and love to you out there, our listeners. That will do it for tonight, y'all. We will see y'all next Wednesday. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.